Woke up late, missed the bus again. Coffee spilled on my only clean shirt, man. Sun's too bright, but I'm half asleep. Stumble through the rhythm of the street. Check my phone, got a message read. Don't be late, it's already said. Tie my shoes while I'm out the door. Same old song, but I've heard it before. Step to the left, step to the right. Catch that beat, everything's alright. Little bit wrong, little bit right. Still gonna dance through the day and just another day in the life. Oh yeah, skanking through the trouble, don't care. Got that upstroke feel in the air. Let it bounce, let it take me there. Just another day in the life. Sun goes down, but the moon stays bright. Every little thing gonna be just fine when the rhythm hits on the offbeat time. Woo! Boss man talking, but I drift away. Thinking about the band gonna play tonight. Clock hands moving way too slow, but my head's in a different show. Lunch break walk with a swinging step. Hear that rhythm, yeah, it ain't left yet. City noise got a ska back beat. Turn the whole block to a dance floor street. Lean with the groove, don't you fight. Every little thing gonna line up right. Wrong or right, day or night. We keep it moving in black and white. Another day in the life. Oh yeah, skanking through the trouble, don't care. Got that upstroke feel in the air. Let it bounce, let it take me there. Just another day in the life. Sun goes down, but the moon stays bright. Every little thing gonna be just fine.
Good evening.
Offbeat time.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good
Hey, boys,
evening.
doing?
Good evening.
Good
evening. Good evening. I'm good. How are you today, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Oh, I just dropped you from the stage.
Please
So
excuse me. I was taking the final sip of my coffee for the mind bender we're about to go on.
yes, we're on letter 2. We finally finished letter 1. I got the letters up. Going live on Getter, Rumble, X, Twitch, and YouTube. Welcome everybody who joined us. Yeah, so I got the letters. We got letter 2. It's got 26 pages. I guess we'll see how far we get, you know. And anytime you guys want to jump in and have a discussion about anything we're reading, just jump in and we'll talk about it. I wanted to show you. I forgot the book. I got that book on the 12 steps. I got. You know what? Let me go grab it. Can you hold the fort for a second?
Sure, we can hold the fort down.
I just want to show the book. So go ahead. I'll be right back.
All right.
Throw a song up there.
Thursday, April 23rd, 7:18 p.m. Nardo, a.k.a. Dr. Rico, in the house. What's up, man? How's it going today?
Pretty good. Pretty good. What are you
got,
doing?
rumbling and jumbling around in that?
Everything's all over the place as usual. Plenty of stuff flying around.
Plenty of news, plenty of fun.
Every day. Woke up today, they all had this simulation of like how the invasion went down. So they were doing it in America. You know, now it's stopped, but you saw these little dots coming from everywhere. And what they're doing in Europe, and you see that simulation going. It's amazing stuff. That X, man, if people don't go on X, they're not going to get the really correct news, I don't think, you know. It's definitely a place to be to get the real scoop.
Yeah. Unfortunately, everything we're living in as of right now is a complete and total lie on every single level known to man.
Yeah, I
So
mean, like if you look at just like the basics of what just came out, I mean, they're a hate group. Uh, Supposedly they were going to stop hate groups, and they were funding the hate groups, and then they're putting it on other people. I mean, like total devious behavior. Like
I don't
crazy
know how
stuff.
true this statistic is, but I did see something come across that obviously everybody knows that OnlyFans has plagued the minds of everybody. But I seen a statistic today that actually Christ and church was actually looked up more in Google searches in comparison to OnlyFans in the past couple
Good.
of months, meaning
So
that more
things
That's
are
people.
swinging
fan-
the other way.
that's
Wow, that's
that's
great.
fantastic. I love hearing that. That's great. Yeah.
So that was a good statistic to hear.
Yeah.
Think of how many other people that do what we do or are trying to spread the message or of God and self awareness. It's pretty profound that we're actually all coming into the ark and everybody's plane of his existence all simultaneously hits this one plane. It's pretty bugged out if you think about it. That now is the time that we're going to live through probably one of the biggest transformations in our world known to man, since like the beginning of time. I mean, if the plan goes the way the plan is supposed to go, you know, it's supposed to be
Yeah,
a
it sounds
complete.
like a lot of wild stuff's ahead. Like a lot of disclosures, definitely in the very near future. I mean, you already had a big disclosure not too long ago, and it's just going to get even more because they even named it. They called it like Operation Hypersonic Clarity. So they're going to be blasting stuff out at a hypersonic pace. I mean, they're telling you it's coming. Now, the only thing would be is if they don't, then you got to wait it out. But
I
it
did
sounds
notice that
like
in news cycles, the only
it's
thing
coming.
that hasn't been really cycling out is this interdimensional warfare type of thing. It keeps
Well,
popping in
not
news cycles.
really, not really, because that UFO disclosure is tied into that, and those 11 guys disappeared. I mean, I don't know if you're following that story, but 11 individuals have like disappeared.
But
Some
you know what they're talking
suicide.
about? They were talking exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, I don't know about that. I highly
The
doubt
one
it.
guy,
But
David Wilcox, I listened to 2 minutes of a video, and basically he's talking about ascension.
nah,
Exactly.
he's talking about other things too. So it did not just this. He talked about a lot of stuff.
Well,
But
what better
whatever.
way to dismiss this and God than to claim aliens? You know,
I don't know. But Michael found this document, and we're going to read it tonight and see what's in there, right, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I want to kind of comment on what you guys are talking about. I feel like, what we went through, you, Lenv, like 10 years ago or more, me 6 years ago, Lenny, whenever he did, it's all rolling out. And, it seems like the natural progression from getting all this truth is going to God, finding out that is where the truth lies in your spirituality. And with all the things I'm learning, you find what I'm finding out is the only thing that you can tell you the truth is within from yourself, because you listen to other people and they all have agendas or whatever they're telling you. And if you could find, the calmness of being uncertain, because what you find out is there's nothing certain. And if you could get good at living peacefully in uncertainty, that is a path to enlightenment.
It's true because, Mike, I tell you, it's hard for me to remain totally at peace when I see these planes just spraying shit in my skies all the time. Like what I mean? We're doing this now. I'm outside. I look up and I see this guy hightailing it through the. It's like it's disturbing, man. How bad it's gotten that this shit is accepted. Half the people don't even realize it. You can't even talk to them about it. And meanwhile, you just look up and look at what's happening. It's like it's messed up, man.
Well, like again, now to get to a place where you could see stuff like that and not panic and not because you're not going to have a certain answer of exactly what's happening up in the sky right now. So you have to be able to go through your life at peace with this happening. And it's almost like you're going into boot camp because it's hard to keep as centered and at peace with all the stuff you learn. But that eventually, I guess you reach a breaking point and you just like, I don't really have a choice. I have to exist with uncertainty. And,
Sometimes,
yeah, Lenny.
sometimes I almost feel like when I receive some crazy information that I was chosen to receive that answer, if that makes sense. Like we've come through a lot of breakthroughs, us three, in these certain groups. And I'm like, I mean, even that arc, like in these crazy things that we've done with AI and like the breaks that we've had and like even our own minds, it's pretty wild what you could accomplish in a room with three people, running through ideas, which
Absolutely.
is really what they don't want, good or bad, whatever the powers that be, they don't want that. They don't want, this is powerful right here. This is where special things happen.
Yeah, because we're free. We're free to express exactly what's on our minds and what's in our hearts. And we're not following some script of what we're supposed to be feeling right now, And that's freedom, man. That's what this country is all about. That's why this is the best country, because we have the freedom to express ourselves and not like, one guy told me like reading the Bible, owning a Bible in China is 3 years in jail. Can you just wrap your head around that for a minute? Owning a Bible, you go to jail. So, and these guys, and I so much credit. You know what they're doing, Lenny? They're memorizing parts of the Bible. So like, okay, Lenny, you memorize Matthew 1, I'll memorize 2. So they could still have church in here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's beautiful. I mean, and that goes to show you can't keep God down, So
well, there's a way.
So this is the book, guys. Let me make me the big picture. Okay, yeah. So check it out. This is so cool. The 12 steps. It has nothing to do with AA. It's all about the symbols, myths, and archetypes of recovery. So this is ancient stuff that has to do with 12 steps.
Who wrote it?
Kakan Masara.
You gotta look that guy up. I don't know what he's about.
Yeah, look, this here. And it's got all, and it's I'll go to the table of contents, and it's here's the table of contents here. I know it's hard to read, but I'm just gonna. So I'll read it to you, like just the table of contents. The steps to recovery, the trap of addiction, making sense of human suffering. So it actually, I'll go back to where everybody's the same size. It's again relating addiction to the soul as a hindrance to enlightenment, and and it's not just like alcohol. It's and it says expanding human consciousness, sacred trance, portals of expansion, divine ecstasy, symbols of consciousness. Then there's contraction of human consciousness, intoxication in modern culture, the addictive process, and it goes all the way, and then it gets to the 12 steps, helping each other recover. And it has all the steps, just like a couple of words that describe them. And then it has, it says step 1, admit powerlessness. Step 2, open to help. Step 3, make a decision. Step 4, take an inventory. Step 5, be truthful. Step 6, let go. Step 7, humbly ask for help. Step 8, list harms done. 9, make amends. 10, be mindful. 11, pray and meditate. And 12 is help others. And then it says a path to wholeness is the next chapter, opening to the inner world. So this is basically this is Gnostic teaching. It's really amazing. So we were right. There is a spiritual connection. And then it has C.G. Jung and AA. And then it talks a little about AA. Just because.
Yeah, that guy's involved with AA. Yep. When you hear that guy's name, he was part of something on target. So over the target.
It actually goes through his story a little bit about stuff. And then it says the shadow, journeys of the soul, myths and transformation. That's got the hero's journey, story of separation, the quest myth, and then modern mystics, and then the epilogue. So I'm gonna read. I didn't read it yet, but I saw it, and I'm like, this is too much of a coincidence. I was in another state when I saw this, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is something.
Yeah, a lot of people have been running into situations like that. They'll go to a garage sale and they find the craziest book.
I bought this is brand new from a bookstore though. This is brand new hardcover. So maybe one day we'll use this. This is really cool. But yeah, it's got symbolism in it, which I know us Anons, we really like symbolism. It's got a bunch of different symbols. I'll open to a random page. Let's see what this one is. That's pretty cool. Bunch of artwork and stuff, and it's a cool book. So, maybe we were on the right track, guys. With that.
Well, the 12 is, the 12 steps speaks on its own. You know what I mean? That stuff came around, and that was like a game changer. Like before that Matt Talbot, I think he used to chain himself to his lamppost, or bedpost. Like there was no cure except when another alcoholic and came together. When they came together, like we're coming together. That's where the magic sauce was made, that they could pull each other, and then they got more people. And in the beginning, all they did was mail you out the book. Like, that's it. You just got the book, make your own club. You were totally empowered in the very beginning of that when they started up. Yeah. It's
and having conversations like this, I guess, and
you had to answer to somebody, I guess, and then you had to go find a sponsor. So you had to find the third guy, I guess, or they sponsored each other. I don't know the exact story, what the hell they did. I think they got another guy involved. And it could be like a clergyman too. It could be just a priest. It doesn't, just go dump your sins over there, or whatever. And you got a partner to go through life with instead of, trying to go it alone and doing everything wrong, And if you get the right person, the right connection, you can really pull yourself out of a jam.
Right. And so yeah,
I think the third guy was Ebby Thatcher.
Who was it?
I think his name was Ebby Thatcher.
I think so. I remember those tapes they used to play of those other guys, man, when they used to go from the old timers at Charlie Murphy's house or whatever, and the tapes from the old timers. They were they had quite a history. Shit goes back a while, And even the Rockefellers tried to buy them out, right? There's like a part in the introduction about that, I believe.
Yeah, they wanted to get their hands in there, and then they wrapped it into, because they wanted to give them money, but then they I don't know, they didn't want anybody's hand in there, because then it's kind of like what we went through with the deal with the business. You end up being ruled by somebody, so AA is supposed to be governed by alcoholics, and then the traditions ended up forming. I mean, it has to. There's money involved, so it has to run like a business.
Yeah, they got themselves a good little system over there. It's like it's stood the test of time, at least 100 years, right? Was it getting close? Not yet.
40s. It's like about 80 something years, maybe.
80,
70s, late 70s.
37, right? That's
like 1943-ish.
But they got another 11 years to go. It's 89 years they got. I think it was 37.
Well, from what this book I got, it's thousands of years old. These kind of steps. Again, it got incorporated into AA, but I believe it's older than AA. I think it's actually, I think they hit something special with that, and then they use something ancient almost. It's possible.
Maybe there's a correlation. Yeah. Hey, listen, if it hits the right tone in the atmosphere or the ether, it seems to make a certain code. Like you got into that bug for a while, right? The 369. You were making some progress. You found that equation too that kept repeating itself and all of that. Right. It was pretty cool times. That was a couple of weeks ago, if not more, right?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for like a confirmation email. I'm gonna try to register the sequence, and it's interesting. Yeah, I had to make an equation for it, and it works for all numbers to infinity. And I'll share that once I get it. Whatever it is, I don't know, but I think there is a pattern that repeats. I was reading something the other day that infinity actually doesn't go on forever. In some beliefs, it actually collapses
Loops.
in on itself. Yes. So the way it was explained to me was infinity isn't necessarily a straight line. If you look at nature, nothing grows in a straight line. Like trees don't grow in a straight line. Usually, there's a little curve to get the sun, and there's actually there's some thoughts that how we always feel like our lives are a big freaking circle all the time, right? So basically we could break the circle. So the way this was explained, and this is some kind of a spiritual teaching, and I really was digging it, was basically we experience the same things over and over again in life, but if we make that decision point on an iteration, we could actually go up and then have a new cycle. So like it basically goes on and on until you reach mastery. It's like a spiral up, infinity. So I was thinking then about the 369 repeating, and maybe there is some kind of a pattern that goes on. This is like really early stages of this theory, but I think it might have something to do with infinity actually not being a straight line. It's actually a spiral in a way that zeroes in on something. Kind of like when they showed us the graph. Don't forget, they showed us graphs in 2D, right? And we've been talking about 5D, 6D. What is 2D? That's 2 dimensions, right? That's 2 dimensions. So that's length times width, right? You add that third dimension, breadth and depth, that's 3D, right? 3D. Now you go to 4D. What's 4D? And that means you're adding another dimension on. That could be time. Let's add time. So that's the 4th dimension. So let's add a 5th. What's the 5th? That's the special one. I believe it's consciousness. Okay. So to get to the 5th dimension, like we always talk about, might be incorporating consciousness. So I'll leave it there. But that's kind of like, how do you define dimension? We always talk 5D chess, right? All this stuff. Think about it. What does it mean?
Well, that kind of reminds me of what somebody else was saying. Like there was some videos that were coming out, and they were talking about pushing your ego to the side and getting to the source. So it kind of made sense. Like you got to push your thoughts out and then get to the light, I guess, or something like of that nature. Like when you were saying, it's like you're climbing a spiral staircase, like just elevating up. You don't even realize it. You don't even, unless you look down, I guess, you just keep climbing up. I mean, you kept landing in the same books too, right? For a while.
What books you talking about? With what?
The Pistis Sophia, you kept it, right? The Mary Magdalene, in the beginning there was a lot of stuff that came right after these Christ letters.
Right.
Right.
And a lot of them talked about what you were talking about removing in these letters, removing your ego, and then that'll get you to be more in tune with the source. Or
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's right.
It's a common theme, It's a common theme that's been out there for a while. That's bouncing around. All of this stuff is circular, All these subjects keep just spinning around. You got. It's year after year. It is quite circular.
Content. Evergreen. It could always be talked about over and over and over again. It keeps cycling back. Everything is cyclical. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying with infinity, like circling. It's cyclical, but it's different each time. You get what I'm saying? Like now it's different than last time we heard it. And just like with the drops, like that stuff came out in 17, 18, and we're still talking about it. But it's going around, there's the Epstein release. There's, the corruption with this and that.
You talked about the drops, man. So I was watching some videos of him today, and he said 159 like twice. And I said, just for the hell of it, let me throw 159 in Q alerts. And you wouldn't believe what came up. Like the top thing was like a classic. And then there was something about Flynn in there. And then there was like other stuff. It was like, holy cow, on point. And just on a whim, I said, I don't look at that thing every day. I look at it like once every, 5-6 days. I don't know, every once in a while. And I put it in there, and all of these things come up. so relative to what's happening. It's crazy, crazy times.
Yeah, it's nuts how everything is converging right now. There was a couple of them that I was just kind of like mind blown with. I was like, oh my god, I can't. But it's just like the Iran shit,
You
him
know,
posting.
Flint put out that movie as free today. So
Which one?
now that one where he was with Ivan Reikland for a while. Yeah, Ivan Reikland's a big part of that movie.
The Freedom, Sound
Now,
of
what they
Freedom.
did to him and his family, I don't know what the name of it is, but
I think it's
it's that,
called Flynn or Fight Like a
yeah,
Flynn
Flynn
or
movie or
Flynn.
something like
Yeah,
that.
I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, you know, how they set him up. And now he's releasing it out free right after they released all this stuff about this, you know, Southern Poverty Law Conference or whatever they're called, SPLC. They were actually, you know, they're there as a hate monitor and accusing people of hate crimes and freaking they're funding them. They're giving them money, you know, like Nazi groups and shit like that. I mean, it's like, and it even gets worse than that because they were like partnered in half-ass ways with programming and stuff and teaching, you know, with like federal law enforcement. So I mean, like they were involved with that kind of stuff. It's kind of sick. It's sick and sinister, and it just came out yesterday, you know. So. It's like fucking nuts. And then listen, and that's just the beginning of this. There's so much more to go. So much more.
So we
Crazy.
got to think like as more of this truth comes out, what is it going to do to the system? It's going to destabilize it, right? I mean, I think a lot of people just ignore it or they don't realize, but we know. But the more people
Well,
that
sooner
know,
or
what is
later
it going to do?
it gets too intense. It's you know, it could be you know, it could be a high level arrest that everybody's screaming for things like that. You know, there are a couple of things that are moving along down in Florida. Like, and then you got that guy Joe D. I mean, you remember him, Joe D. and his wife there. They were always like, you know, that guy's a prosecute. He's going down there to prosecute these guys. That guy Joe D. Genova. Yeah. So I mean, out of nowhere, Bondi split, but she didn't leave. She went like to some other job, you know, like the other one. When she left, she went somewhere else. Like this is a interesting shell game picking that guy out of nowhere. Who the heck thought that was going to happen out of nowhere? And then all of a sudden, this guy Blanche is kicking ass. You know, he's out there locking people up now. So things changed rapidly, like really rapidly.
Yeah, I was. We were thinking. Who were we thinking? Flynn, um, originally for the AG. No, it wasn't
No,
Flynn.
I think it was more Tulsi Gabbard's job. I think that was more where
I
he
don't think
came
we were.
from, but he was bypassed for everything. And then, but he showed up. He showed up in
Powell.
the Kennedy Center. He showed up with Benny Johnson right out of the rip. He's got his own thing. He's always around. He's with Alex Jones. Then Alex Jones says that crazy shit about 25th Amendment. I couldn't believe it. And a couple of the other people that I follow. I was like shocked, you know, but they get carried away with themselves. I mean, they did great work, but you can't say that shit in a time of war. Like, I don't know what the fuck these people think they're talking about.
You're the
Like,
one
you
that
know,
said.
there's a like war is about misdirection plays. Like, you don't want fucking people knowing what you're gonna do. Like, you know, you gotta act a little crazy. He's straightening a lot of shit out, and it ends up like if you follow that Promethean action group like a lot of this stuff has to do with Britain and the royals and all of that. And there, if you look, there's a meeting where they're coming over, and there's a clip from today where he's ranking on them. You know,
Yeah, I
like
thought that was a trap in itself, having the king and the queen come here.
yeah.
It
So
was.
you know, there's a lot of high level shit going on that the most people have no clue. You know, but they're gonna have it. Something's gonna pop. Like something has to pop. There's just too much going on now. You know, the Alcatraz case, that thing fell through. He could open up his Alcatraz now. That just came through the courts. you got some things bouncing around in the Supreme Court that could go either way, that could cause a big fuss. Now he's making a big stink about this one thing getting overturned or something. Uh, what's the new one that he's getting himself all worked up over?
Right.
Do you remember?
Was it birthright citizenship or something
Yes,
like?
birthright citizenship with the yes, he even went to the Supreme Court. But dig
Yeah.
this. If that thing does go weird, let's say, watch for the other thing that might happen on that day. Like there might be 5 cases, right? And that thing might come out as a shit show and blah blah blah. But they always have more than one case that they rule on. And you'd be surprised when this stuff happens. Sometimes it comes out initially like and then as you get a couple of days into it, things ain't so bad. Like, so you got it's kind of messed up, but it happens. It does happen. And that is a slam dunk. Just like the other one was a slam dunk that went the wrong way. That tariff thing. And then he says, listen, you could have ruled that way, but just say from this point forward, you didn't have to make me give the money back and, start giving back $130 billion. I mean, because a lot of this shit he did was to get us back on track because we were getting taken advantage of for so long. I mean, it shows in that $39 trillion deficit. I mean, that's craziness. Craziness.
Yeah, I don't even know how a country continues to operate, and how that there's like these tier systems of when you're really playing with money that is not even real on a
They
screen. Like
baked
everyone's
it. They baked
capital.
it in the cake. They baked in a $2 trillion deficit per year in the cake. As Elon was finding that shit and saying, "Okay, let's get this stuff out," they fought threw the whole thing into court, slowed it down, threatened his dealership. Remember that? They was smashing his cars, and there was a hate thing going on with him. You know. And meanwhile, the guy's in there doing the right thing. And this is what he's getting trashed. All his cars, people can't buy his cars no more. I mean, this is sick
Well, the
shit.
single greatest thing he did was spend the money on Twitter for
Damn
because now
right.
and we got a great AI that works even though it
Hey,
has
let me
people.
tell you something about that whole Twitter thing. There's a lot of stuff that's still bouncing around back in there that's still not talked about. And there's a lot of stuff from Crossfire Hurricane back in 2016, 17 that's starting to get talked about again. I just saw a couple of articles. That unmasking stuff, when that first came out in 16, 17, even the NBCs of the world knew that was a bozo no-no. And it was sent out at a high level. This is important. This is a
Coordinated.
no, but it was like, hey, listen, this is a security violation, and then they memory hold it and moved on, and like nobody talked about it for a long time. But the initial burst when that shit came out, people knew that was not good. Because and
Well,
listen, I'm no freaking expert on that stuff, but you could just read the situation when it happened. And that's my only expertise on it was reading the situation, and you could just tell the way that was presented. They weren't bullshitting certain aspects of that. They let it out correctly that it
I
wasn't
did
right.
see a video of a side by side of Joe Biden and an AI humanoid robot walking next to each other, and like it was the exact same fucking thing.
Now
Yeah,
that's an interesting thing too, because in the Epstein drops, now they had 3 million drops. I didn't download that thing. I don't want to look at it. It's not for me. But
Joe
uh,
Biden died in like
yes,
2019.
so I monitored who was putting stuff out that I like and I follow their accounts. I think they're great. So I always I read their stuff and get it out there. And they found two things actually. Two very important things. One thing was that they were planning that pandemic before it happened, right? This Epstein guy was an important man as far as setting up things. And then there was another email about who's this guy Biden, Bidan, running around in a mask. So listen, I didn't even open these things, but it was out there. And it's just some of this stuff just, it seals the deal, It's like, geez, so corrupt,
The
man.
level
Just
of
so corrupt.
deception, but it's not. I think that's why we're
It's
coming
the
to a time
fucking
where people are
it's the
speaking the truth.
Truman Show, bro. It's the freaking Truman Show. That's what it is. It's sick.
I've never
It's
seen the show.
Oh, you never seen the Truman Show?
No.
Yeah. Everything's planned the whole day, and it just keeps, like Groundhog Day, like but producing that. Like it's just manufactured, everything manufactured.
No, it makes sense. But that's how they keep their machine going. But there are holes in the matrix for you to break through. I've realized that it's a mindset thing. It's the things that you need to do. It's either you're going to conform to them or you're going to break away from them. And a lot of people do conform, but now it's in such a subtle way that you don't even realize you're conforming. You're
Yeah,
just
but the problem now is this money thing. This 39 trillion. I mean, just to pay the interest now is a burden. Like it might exceed your military budget just paying your interest burden, you know? So something's going to crack in that kind of situation. And I'm pretty sure as bad as we are, China's worse. I mean, I don't know if things picked up. I haven't looked, but like their GDP, like our GDP was running about 118, 108, 128, whatever, something like that. Theirs was like 330. I remember when they got busted with them ghost cities. They were making ghost cities and nobody was in them. It's a weird thing over there. You get, and they're welcome here, and they're buying things that are just, it's quite alarming, some of the stuff that happens.
yeah.
And
A lot of these companies, especially foreign companies, are buying up the water rights in the United States. A lot of the Chinese have prime real estate right in New York.
yeah, New
Times
York's
Square.
a pretty captured state at this point. I mean, I really don't see much of a future unless something drastic happens, and just straightens things out in a wind.
I liked
That's
what that
about
guy
it.
was saying, that Long Island breaks away from New York as a whole and makes it
Yes, I
a
remember that
Pittsburgh.
guy. He was interesting. That was
Yeah,
that meeting, right, Mike, that we went to?
yeah.
That was good.
Yeah,
And
he was talking about Long Island seceding as its own state.
yes,
It
that
was
was
really
interesting
cool. I
as
mean,
hell.
it really should be that way. We are completely different than the rest of the state. I mean, maybe upstate's similar too. Upstate's
Yeah,
beautiful. It's just that city that's just different.
it's
Oh, it's the
totally
money
great,
capital
Very
of
man.
the
different.
world, bro. There's
Yeah,
a lot of money that flows through there. There's
yeah.
It's like
billions
eight
of
to
money.
one, 9 to 1. I mean, you're never going to get a Republican in over there. Never. It's always going to be Democrat. Very few
Yeah.
Republicans.
Yeah. I mean, I unfortunately it's based on population and the electoral college and all that. And yeah, we get,
But I mean,
it's
even
just
that's a trap at this point, right? The whole Republican Democrat thing. I mean, look at like this voting thing is like 81% of the people. So that means plenty of Democrats want it too. And they can't even get that passed. Like, what the heck? That voting act, that Save America Voting Act, that you got to have a ID and you got to be a citizen. I mean, how ridiculous that you can't get that passed.
Well, it's built that way. I mean, we figured it out like doing our studies that they infiltrate the lowest levels of government. So whatever, these bum ass little towns, and then all of a sudden they take over a town, and then it's a city, and then all of a sudden like you're growing a little third world country, and then they get into politics. They trick the people. They're doing all this fraud. They have all this business. And you know where they send all the money? They send it back to their country where our money is, and now they live like
Right, and
kings.
you paid for it all, man, and you paid for it all. It's sickening. We need an uplifting experience after this discussion, Mike. We might have to get into these Christ letters and pick our spirits up here. This is depressing
well, I
talk.
mean, it's important though. I think it's important to keep in touch with the
Best
news
is
like
yet
you
to
do.
come, man. Best is yet to
Uh,
come. The big
yeah,
turnaround.
right. So, staying focused on the negativity is as long as it doesn't, define you. If you this is all you focus on, then it will be consuming. But at the same time, you can also find, like I said earlier, like if you could maintain peace in this turmoil, then
Right. The calm in the storm.
you have to be the calm in the storm, you know. And I don't let this stuff upset me as much as I used to. That's for sure. And you know, maybe this will bring more people to this inner peace with this crazy stuff going on. You know, that's the thing. Like you have that moment, like I said, we all had that moment where we're like, is this real? Like, you know, the COVID thing with me, like blew me away like that, you know. And again, not even all that's completely understood yet. It's still but I understand it in my own way.
That's what happens.
But
Is I understand it too. You know,
right? You know, and but then after that, everything started not affecting me as much, and then I started finding it's not that you're numb to it; it's just that you focus on what you actually have control over, which is your own mindset. You know, which is what these letters get into, and I guess it's a good time to try to get started with that. So we got to letter 2. I'm going to get to the first page.
Yeah, let's go.
And yeah, let's hopefully we'll lighten the mood a little bit, and you know, bring and you know, and again, bring it back to where we actually have some power over the situation. We're not helpless as they would like us to think we are. We actually have control over our own thoughts, which is extremely powerful. So I'll start off with letter 2. It says this letter should be pondered rather than read. It says, I am the Christ. Whilst I operate from the highest realms of divine creative consciousness, my influence encircles your world. Speaking metaphorically, I am as distant in consciousness from your world as your sun is distant from Earth. Yet, if you call on me sincerely, I am as close to you as is necessary to help you. There will be many.
Wow, that's pretty. Wait a minute, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was powerful, man. That was like right to the point.
Yeah.
Just call on me, man. That reminds me of that song, right? That song.
Just call on me. I don't know. You know.
All right,
I know
let's
what you
go.
mean.
All right, that caught my eye. That was right off the rip, man. That was pretty good.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, God can come from, you know, he's everywhere and he's right next to you.
I remember one night my house was flooding bad, and the water was gushing in, man. And you know, you just stop and you're just like, Jesus Christ, help me. You know, at this point, you know, it's just like one time it works, one time it didn't. One time it actually worked, but the first time it didn't work, and the fireman made fun of me.
Okay.
And he didn't help me either. He left. I was like, come on, man, you got to pump. And he's like, nah. And he went through the puddle and left me. That was the night that the dog was swimming, Len. Remember that?
He's not over there. He walked away
left?
for a minute. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, I got the video on my old phone. The dog is actually swimming. And my neighbor put mulch out. And all the freaking mulch was in the basement. 3 feet of water. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Oh, God. But listen to this. You want to hear the weird one? One time it worked, right?
Mm-hmm.
I freaking was out there, and I'm like, I couldn't take another inch of water. It was going to go over the side. And I'm like, please, God, make it stop. And it calmed down. And I looked at the radar. I'm like, this is fucked up. And the freaking storm like did a circle around where I was in like a perfect little thing. It was like so weird.
Maybe I guess he felt like this guy's had enough. Let me give him a break.
He owed me one. The other one was like, I can't help you with that one.
I was listening. I do remember that. I woke up in the middle of the night and I seen Lily swimming across the basement.
Oh my goodness!
It was already.
It broke the seal on the door downstairs. It came down to cement, and it was like 5-6 feet high. And then the seal broke, or somebody opened the door, or something.
I opened. Well,
Is that what happened?
The water was already coming in.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know why the fuck I opened it.
It was like drip, 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 flood. That's
basically. You know, it was kind of like busting.
It was like get that pump and get it on. That's what that shit was. Oh,
but there was so much water coming from the sky, bro. It was like I don't even know what time it was. It seemed late. I woke up. I was still like in the throes of addiction too, so I was like fucking whacked out. I didn't know what to do, and Dad's like, "We have to fight the water. We have to fight it. we can't do nothing. I'm like, what are we gonna do?
Never
And
surrender,
we
man. You always
Never surrender. Fight,
grab
fight.
something.
we actually created like a little blockade and got the water to redirect away from the house. It was crazy how much water was, dude.
Man,
And we actually
that's
created a
terrible,
little
guys.
sandbag with that pillow. You remember
I
that?
think Anthony went through the puddle too down at the right. Didn't he take his
Yeah,
car
he
and go
did go
through
through
there?
the puddle. He went through the
Oh my
puddle and
God!
pushed the
It was like,
more water up the block, and it all ended up in the basement. Like Dad was saying, there was mulch everywhere. I don't know. At one point, I think after I got like it down to 2 inches, the fucking pump like burnt out or wasn't working anymore, and like I was like, "Fuck this! I'm going to sleep." And by the time we woke up in the morning, like the sheetrock and everything sucked it all up. It's a lot of
yeah,
work.
woo. That was some
Man,
night, man.
crazy, crazy. All right, let me keep going. So there will be many who will be unable to receive these letters. Such people are not yet ready for them. There will be those who will try to stifle their existence, since the teachings will be threatening their livelihood or religion. They will not succeed. These letters will be strengthened by opposition. There will be those who will receive these letters with joy, since in their souls they have known that beyond the religions of the world has been truth, the reality of existence. These are the people who will prosper and will eventually save the world from self-annihilation. I will now take up my autobiography from where I left off in my last letter. My purpose in giving you some of the biographical details of my entrance into public life as teacher and healer is to bring alive for you my youthful attitudes and behavior, the circumstances of my attaining my own state of spiritualized humanhood. So, yeah, like he said, I mean, some people won't be able to accept these letters, some people will, and he actually said they'll be strengthened by opposition, which is I find that interesting.
Yeah, but like anything else, whatever you connect with, you keep, and whatever you don't, you don't. I mean, if you could connect with all of it, that's great, I guess. But you know, who's ready for this whole thing? You know, it's kind of a lot.
I
Well,
am.
our
To
job is
even
to just
absorb.
drop
I'm
it,
ready. I'm ready for
drop
the
it
whole
into
thing.
their Overton window.
Yeah,
You know, that
but
was all.
everybody's got their own pace, Mike. You know what I mean? Like it's this is a lot to absorb in a short period of
Well,
time.
that's why we're doing it this way. We're doing it in
Yeah,
small chunks, and it even says right at the top, this letter should be pondered rather than read. So you're supposed to take, like you said, little pieces of it, digest it, meditate on it, have a discussion with close friends and family about it, and start to understand what he's actually trying to teach you. So it is important you should be able to visualize Palestine as it was when I was on earth and clearly see the inner conflicts which my teachings aroused in the people indoctrinated in the Jewish beliefs and traditional rites. These conflicts lie at the heart of the gospelers' inability to record accurately all that I tried to teach them. In the Gospels are frequent references to my parables describing the reality of the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God, whichever term the Gospelers used, but nowhere has any attempt been made to reach into the words themselves, explore the figures of speech, or lift out the spiritual meaning of the kingdom of God or the kingdom of heaven. So he's pretty upset with the way the Gospelers interpreted a lot of his teachings because they were so indoctrinated with the Jewish religion. You guys have anything to say about that? I'll go to the next page. If not, I think that's really important. I'll say one thing. I mean, from this journey of like learning about spiritual enlightenment and things like this, it does rub up against religion, but it bounces off too. And so you could call that whatever you want to call it, but there is parallels, and then there's things that just don't mesh. And I think that's what these letters are about, what he actually was trying to teach beyond the parables. And it was hard for the gospelers to shed their indoctrinations of the Jewish religion, which is why a lot of it carried over into Christianity.
You have to have a pretty open mind to approach any spiritual material, or a completely open mind, really. To me, it's more like a peace of mind thing than it is this like definitive cult like faith to God. Like to me, it's like this free flowing thing. You know, it's like there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just do it. You know, and watch the great things that come, you know, and that's kind of like what I did. It developed over time. Like what I feel and the way that I do spirituality now is much different than when I did it in the beginning, you know, and it's probably going to be different in 3 more years from now, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a journey. It's not something. There's a lot of it that you have to learn yourself through digesting and trying to get through it all and find the meaning with it. And it's not really something that, I don't know, like I just, from what I glean from it is, you know, you can't depend on me. You can't depend on Nardo. You can't depend on higher ups at any certain denomination of church. It's really a personal relationship with the God of your understanding.
Yeah, no, that's well put. I agree.
I mean, at the end of this, they put it all in bold. I mean, he's saying, you know, nowhere has any attempt been made to reach into the words themselves, explore the figures of speech, or lift out the spiritual meaning of the kingdom of God or the kingdom of heaven. You know, like a lot of people have a problem with that, slowing down, like turning off the TV and think about things. Like that's just an accomplishment in itself for some people. Like when I
Absolutely.
first, yeah, like, you know,
Yes.
like you always need something in your head playing, and it gets, you know.
That's a huge part of it, Lenny, and that's a really brilliant point. A lot of this is about finding silence and contemplating and turning off all the distractions and getting comfortable with silence. You know, that was one of the big first steps for me. I actually look forward to silence now. I can't wait to turn every freaking light off and to just.
Now think about the people who hate
you know.
that. They always got to sleep with the TV on. They need noise.
Yeah.
They need a fan. You know, like it's something. It's something to watch in you know, your own personality if you have that. You know, my first experience with that was like I had a 20-minute drive, and it was a nice drive. It wasn't no bumper to bumper drive. It was, you know, going out east, and it was nice drive. And so, you know, you could shut off the radio and try it in that time frame, and you know, you could get some thoughts together on the ride instead of always blasting the radio or the music. It's a start, because sometimes people didn't even think of doing things like this, you know?
Right. Yeah, no, that and that's the way to go. You gotta be able to turn off the distractions. It's part of this. I mean, it's really is. So you're dead on with that, man. Slowing it down, taking it slow, thinking, and not like constantly noise. I mean, this world is just constant noise. I don't care if it's lawnmowers or TV or heavy machinery or humming of computers. Like, that's why it's good to get out into nature. That helps a lot. Like, try to find a quiet spot somewhere in your backyard and just kind of take it all in and start pondering on these kind of things. And, you know, you'll see amazing results. You know, you can't do it if you're constantly distracted, you know?
Blocks the channel.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's actually, yeah, it's a direct block.
There's so many things fucking block the channel. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, even when you turn everything off, you got what's in here, right?
Yeah.
Now you got to get past that. So you might as well at least give yourself a fighting chance. You got to turn off everything else. Now deal with this. And then see if you can get to a point where you could be, you know, just kind of like stop all your thoughts for a little bit. And that's kind of the meditation angle. I guess we'll probably cover that. I'm sure he goes into it here. If not, there's a lot of stuff you could look on that, on getting, you know, to silence and stillness and being comfortable in it and not feeling nervous or Like, because your ego is going to jump in and say, hey, wait a second, I got to have control of something or think about something. And that's kind of like that archonic force where the archons and all that kind of stuff that, they can't function in stillness, so that's when you kind of win that little battle in your head.
The archons are coming. The archons are coming.
Yeah. As I speak of my true sermons given to the people, you will, in the light of my experiences in the desert and your own knowledge of scientific facts, be able to understand at least a little of what I was attempting to teach at that time. Since I was largely unsuccessful, it is imperative another attempt should be made to do so. At the beginning of this age, this millennium, since it is on my privileged highest spiritual knowledge and insight that the next age will be founded and developed. It was and is essential for a teacher such as I and others have been super sensitive and wholly committed mentally and emotionally to search for truth of existence, to come to earth, to coin words, to describe to people on earth imprisoned in words what lies in the creative universal dimension in an unformed state, where were it not for such inspired teachers, people on earth would have remained in ignorance of all that lies beyond the earth, ready for contact to be personally experienced and absorbed to promote future spiritual evolution. So this is his goal. He's coming back to get the teachings right and to start terminology and to teach us what's beyond this world and not improve upon the teachings that have been interpreted from his original teaching. Not only this, the Bible is said to be the most widely read book in the world. In its present form, it has served its purposes. The New Testament, as it stands, with all its baggage of misinterpretation, is a deterrent to spiritual evolution. It is now time to move forward into a new realm of mystical perception and understanding. Since it is impossible for me to descend into human body again to speak to the world, and I have other dimensions to whom I minister, I have trained a sensitive soul to receive and transcribe. It is the nearest I can do to talking to you personally. I hope you will be able to receive and accept this. Whatever is erroneous is erased. You may be sure of this. The incidents and healings related in the following pages are not important. They happened, but they are given only to enable you to understand their true spiritual significance. I want you, as you read, to relate the conditions of 2,000 years ago to your present life and times. I want you to regard the persona of Jesus as an icon of what can eventually be achieved by every human being who is ready and willing to become a founder member of the kingdom of heaven on earth. Although people of your present world are what you call sophisticated, big-headed in their modern knowledge and learning, versed in contemporary manners, and in new ways of relating to one another, basically, the people all those years ago were the same as yourselves. So he's saying 2,000 years ago, you guys think you're so special. It's the same thing. It's the same problems. It's the same thing as he faced 2,000 years ago. That's pretty incredible when you think about it. You would think with all the advances we have, but the same problems were there even then. I mean, obviously it was a little different, but spiritually speaking.
There's so many things to be deceptive about, and or it's like really the same deceptive ways, just in a different form, whether it's now or then. It's the way I understand. Like even when I did read the Bible or read this stuff, I do see how it correlates drastically to my life. If you that's I think a great gift that AA has given me, is that I have the ability to like put myself in something else's shoes for a little bit and gain somebody else's perspective, I guess.
Hmm.
It's pretty it's a good way to learn, to be able to work through problems as well.
By seeing by the other person's point of view, you're saying, like,
Mm.
by being compassionate to what they're feeling.
Yeah, being it's empathy. Yeah, you learn all these like different character traits that are positive. Things that make you feel good at the end of the day that were non-existent in my life beforehand, and the things that you utilize on a day-to-day basis to combat good and evil, I guess, in your own
Hmm.
path. You know, then when you start to apply these things and start feeling results, seeing results, it's very empowering. Even like now, like when you're talking about silence, I cannot shut my mind off. I'm super distracted right now. I got a lot of shit going on, but even taking a moment to like try and slow myself down, something that I need to do more often. Even while I'm driving, because I do have a lot of time driving, but I'm driving a huge box truck in and out of
Right.
traffic. It's
Right.
stressful. I'm looking at my GPS, the EMS, the call comes in, this, that, so it's hard. Like,
It's a
and
challenge. It is.
when I'm in my head in the truck, I find myself going in these deep loops, of like nonsensical thought in a way.
Yo, you gotta listen to this next part, man. This next
No,
part,
we're gonna
banging.
get to it. We're gonna
This
get to
next
it.
part is banging,
We're
man.
gonna get to it.
Bro.
So, but I'm listening to Nardo. I don't know. The car's good for me. Lenny V said it's good for him. I would say at home, in a dark room, put a pillow over your head or something. Like, just take some deep breaths, hold them in. Try to just try to clear your mind, or let the thoughts come. I think we talked about this on one episode. Let the thoughts come and just let them almost get tired out, until it's like, okay, I already thought about that, and just, try to get there. It is important. I mean, that's a big part of this, man. I'm telling you. So start that battle in your head. But maybe not while you're driving. It's tough. I mean, you got people cutting out of traffic and all the,
Well, it's not as
like
drastic as that, but
Yeah.
it's hard to find solitude
tough.
in a 20-foot commercial vehicle.
Yeah.
You got a lot of responsibility on your shoulders.
Absolutely. All right. So like Lenny said, the next section. So this is explaining how 2,000 years ago, this is what they were doing. So see if you could relate to how people act today. This is literally what was happening in Palestine 2,000 years ago. They were controlled and motivated entirely by their twin impulses. Now, this is something that I had trouble understanding, the twin impulses. So try to understand it right now, and we'll talk about it later. But this is a big theme in the letters, the twin impulses. It's big, bold. So they are bonding and rejection, desires and repulses. So he says, and I guess that's kind of like, Lenny, we talked about like our animal instincts, almost like that's like the basic level ego drive. I either want something for myself, or get away from me, or I desire it, or I despise it. So those twin impulses are a big theme in the letters. So they were completely controlled and motivated by these twin impulses, even as you are. They loved, hated, criticized, condemned, slandered, and gossiped, possessed ambitions to rise to the top of society, despised those who were failures in life, secretly slept around, as you call it, and taunted those who were different in any way to themselves. To help you fully understand and enter into my time on earth, my consciousness has descended to your plane of earthly existence to experience yet again the persona of Jesus and the emotions and events in which I was involved. So they were doing all the same stuff we're doing. They loved and hated. They criticized and condemned. They slandered and gossiped. All being in these low vibration things of putting down people that are not doing good, like walking past an orphan child, or some homeless guy who really needs food. Instead of giving them food, they would just scoff at them. So that was the state of affairs back then. Was that what you were excited about, Lenny? Like, what part did you want me to really
No,
focus
just
on?
the whole thing was bold, right? And it's got those stars at the end of it. So the guy who was the recorder said he didn't know how to, describe like how he felt the spirit was giving him a message, and all he could do, right? And he hit it with all those stars at the end of it. And then everything was bold. And the top part is got the capitals in it. So the
Right,
bonding, rejection, desires, repulsions, even as you are.
right.
So the back and forth, right, of that. And then he lays it out, all of these things that you could see in regular society even today, right? I mean, it's like it
Yeah,
reads
they
for
were
itself.
very self-centered, right? Egotistical, not caring
All of
about
it.
their fellow man or woman, not caring about their own wife or husband because they're sleeping around. This is a big one. Possessed ambitions to rise to the top of society. That's that conquering ego. I'm going to be better than everyone else. And these are all directly in opposition to enlightenment. Well, every single thing that's listed there is something that you should try to avoid, except for loving. Loving is good, but again, a selfish love, a possessive love, it's more about an unconditional love, because he puts loved and hated next to each other, which is again bonding rejection. That's what that if you see that they're in pairs, because it's kind of like
The yin and the yang.
yeah, and not being at a place of peace in these things, or caring about the greater good, like we always say.
Well, bonding is
That's
the reverse of rejection. It's the opposite.
right, but these are more reactions. Okay, so like look at the word impulse. Right, impulse means a direct knee-jerk reaction where, like we said in a past episode, we should pause, pray, and proceed, right? Like if we feel a certain thing, we shouldn't just do it like out of reaction. We should take a second, take a breath, and then think about what you're doing. Is this something in line with that I should be doing? And that's not what they're doing here. They're working on impulse. Twin impulses means knee-jerk reaction that is usually surface level. We're deeper than surface level now, right? We're on a journey to be profound, to be deep, to not just judge people based on their current situation, and and that's what twin impulses are. I like I said, it's a big theme. And I had trouble. I had to read it a couple of times to get it. So that's how I took it. And all these things here are all twin impulse kind of things. That's the way he's going with it.
I'm having trouble with it too. Like to me, it feels like it's like two sides. It's like the dark and the light. Like desires aren't like bad to have, like you were saying, like you were.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, the desire. Well, let's try to break it down. I don't know.
Well, desires is something what I want, and then repulsions are things I push away. I'd assume, right?
Right. So
and
if you were
together, rejection is pushing away. So it's like I feel like both of these things exist simultaneously, and it's like I'm trying to land in the middle, but more in a positive light, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it is true, like what Michael said, though. The beginning says they were controlled and motivated entirely by their twin.
Entirely.
Yeah, so he's just trying to give you their state of mind. They weren't thinking about it. They just, whatever the heck it was, they went, I guess they were controlled and motivated entirely by their twin. So like, yeah, you're not doing that, but these people were, right? Like, is that the way I'm reading it? I mean, and then he spells it out for you. You know, they loved, hated, criticized, condemned, slandered, and gossiped. Like they weren't. They were just flowing along in that space, and then eventually you wake up to it or you don't.
I don't know. Is it talking about emotions? It might be talking about emotions
Yeah,
entirely
you're
about
more controlled now. So to
even
you,
as you are.
but he's talking about the mastery of it. You know, like yeah, we work on that stuff. Is to not be controlled by that.
So I have something I read. I have something I read recently that's not in the letters that is kind of talking about this. It says the demiurge within you speaks in absolutes. It prefers control to openness. It divides reality into right and wrong, us and them, saved and lost. It mistakes structure for truth and certainty for wisdom. This inner demiurge is not evil. It is protective intelligence doing its best with incomplete information. It wants safety, it wants order, it wants predictability, but without connection to wholeness, it becomes brittle and brittle systems break. This is why awakening it feels threatening to the ego, not just because truth is dangerous, but because ego is a local administrator of the demiurgic pattern. It governs identity, boundaries, and survivals. When awareness expands, that administrator loses authority and it panics. It is a source of spiritual resistance, not laziness, not disbelief, fear of losing control. The part I liked there was the demiurge within you speaks in absolutes. It's saying certainty is wisdom. So let me go back to the letters now. I got to go back to where we were talking about. I think that's dead on with what. Okay, so let's think of it this way. If you just look at something and you automatically repulse it, automatically, I am certain that I should not be doing this. Are you sure? Like, did you? That's a surface level thing. Like, why are you so sure and certain that you should reject it? Just because that guy, homeless guy walking down the street, is repulsing you. Maybe you could have been the one to save his life that day. You know, maybe you could have gave him a sandwich and he didn't starve to death. We don't. I'm just saying, like an example. Bonding. You might see this girl that is gorgeous, and you're like, I have to be with her. You find out she's a terrible person and takes all your money. You know what I mean? Like, again,
Yeah, don't be
it's
controlled by those things. Right. Exactly. Think things
right,
through.
right.
Like the space.
Think it
It's
through.
kind of like the space between those two words. You want to ride in that. You don't want to be
You
at
don't want
either
to be
end.
absolutes.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. I got it.
Exactly.
What do you? What
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
you? Could you agree with that statement, Len? Like it's more like riding the space between these two words when you know, because he's saying they were controlled and motivated entirely by their twin impulses. But I don't, you know, that's like something we
Yeah, that's
try.
where I was at. Like,
Right, you
I
try
noticed
to,
that there's two sides of the spectrum, but it's healthier
yeah,
to be in the middle
right.
of it, where you're
I don't
not
think
feeding
so.
either side to where you're like too extreme or too extreme this way. You're just
Right,
kind of
think things through. Like you don't have to make a decision. You say, "I get back to you" or whatever. I'll think it up. You know, like you have a choice. Like,
That's
yeah. I mean, I guess
great. Great.
the depth of the situation really is in the fate of your own hands. You know, could either go
Right.
this way or that way. You know, to be at the equilibrium is the sweet spot on the beam, you know, where you don't have a bad reaction, you don't have a good reaction, you just get through the moment without any type of situation erupting. It's a positive thing in my mind. Even when something doesn't happen, it's a testament to that you applied your knowledge. And you know, like say you're having an argument with somebody and you just kind of like get through the moment. And you know, like you know yourself, like normally you'd fucking fight back with the guy or flip him the bird in traffic, like we were talking about last episode, and like you don't do any
Yep.
of those things. Kind of like flies right over your head, and you just shake it off, you know, and move on. You know, it proves that what you're doing is working. You know, like I've been trying to do that.
Absolutely, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm agreeing
No,
with
no,
you.
I've been trying to do that lately. I just, you know, I'm just trying to not. Because I realize when I feel this like emotional stab in my chest, some part of myself is affected, and I've been trying not to really go too deep into it, but just like, all right, try and figure it out, not say anything. Like no reaction is good reaction. I feel like, it's a process. It's like a pause, pray, proceed, like we were talking about. That's really all I've been doing. But have been having less conflict on the back end of things.
That's great. Yeah, and I don't know if like necessarily the bonding is good and the rejection's bad, or the rejection's good and the bonding's bad. It's more like you guys are saying, like right in the middle. And then, hey, you might end up deciding to bond or reject, but you at least took that minute to not be completely controlled and motivated, like it's saying here. I think that's great. I think that we just explained it fantastic for the audience. So that I think we thoroughly, and you're going to see this come up again. So it's nice that we got that real talk on it, because you're going to see it happen again. It's called Twin Impulses. And I don't even think he explains them next time you read it. It's just going to say twin impulses. So
now Jesus's parables, they have multiple meanings, right?
Well, that's what he says in the top there. He's like, people need to just sit there. And that's how we got discussing on, shutting the radio off or whatever. Like Michael was listening to this stuff on audio too. He wasn't just reading all the time, right? You were listening to it in the car. You were listening to the tapes. It was a lot to go over.
Yeah, I listened to it, I read it, and I took notes.
Right.
So there's a lot of time I spent, so it's not easy for you guys to, just go through it the first time. But that's why we could stop and talk. And that was fantastic what we did with Twin Impulses. I'm extremely happy with it, because it really was a tough part for me. And if I would have had you guys, I would have got it right away. So it's good. It's good.
That's why you need other people to do this with, because me on my own, like I'll concoct answers that aren't real. That's what the significance of working with other people as well, is that we'll call each other out on not only our bullshit, but we apply different types of thought and come to a pretty cool solution, at least for the moment.
All right, I'll keep going. This is page 3 we're on. We're doing good. We had like a good 40 minutes of just talking about the news in the beginning, but we're doing well. When I left
Mike, could we take if after this page, could we take like a music break for like 5-10 minutes or like that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
I could use a cup of tea, that sounds good. So let's get through this page first, and then we'll take a break. Is that all right? Or you want to take it now?
Yeah, do the page.
All right. So when I left the desert and put foot to the road leading to my village of Nazareth, I was still elated, exuberantly joyous in the knowledge so gloriously revealed to me in the desert. I focused my thoughts entirely on all I had learned, and if my thoughts strayed to my former negative forms of thought, I swiftly turned to the Father for inspiration and determination in overcoming them. In this way, I returned constantly to the light of awareness and understanding. That's solid advice right there. It's solid. So whenever you feel yourself slipping into negative thoughts, swiftly turn to the Father. I use that constantly. So, and try to return constantly to the light of awareness and understanding. Just pray for it, Hey, there's Pops over there. What's up, Pops? So that,
when I'm going off camera, I was going to tend to the old man.
Yeah, man, that's all good. Good to see you, Pops. How you feeling?
His ointment for his balls.
Oh, you still got dry balls?
For me too.
Yeah.
Man, that's a real good grandson, man.
Right?
I'll tell you what, I ain't doing it. All right, so it's funny talking about that when we're talking about this really hey, it's all about contrast in life, and we got to laugh. So whenever we have negative forms of thought, turn to the Father. Some people looked at me and asked us, guys, what is that word? Wait, hold on. Askins? That's a new one for me.
Yeah.
I got to look that one.
Some people looked at me askins.
Asking.
No, it's ASKANCE.
Oh,
Askins.
I would assume that it means, I don't know. Let's look it up.
Like question.
Askance.
I guess
Askance it is.
like
Askance.
questionly maybe because it's ask is in there. Like they looked at me like question. Like
People looked at me at askance.
Say that again.
All right,
Askance.
askance.
Askance
Is
is
an
it.
adverb meaning to look at someone or something with suspicion, mistrust, or disapproval.
Like a questioning look. Okay, so I got I guessed, but okay, good.
Yeah, but just
So
approval.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, so some people looked at me askance, seeing my joy and also my dirty, unkept appearance. Was I happy with drink? They wondered. Others looked at me with abhorrence. Instead of reacting with anger as in the past, I remembered that I had been blessed with visions and knowledge they could not even begin to imagine. I blessed them and prayed for their inner vision to be similarly opened and continued peacefully along the road to my home. There were villagers, however, who viewed my pitiful state with compassion and hurried into their houses to fetch me bread and even wine to help me on my way. There was always someone who offered shelter for the night. The Father Life, indeed, supplied all my needs and gave me protection as needed. All this time, I said not a word about my weeks in the desert. I felt that the time was not yet ripe. Eventually, I reached my hometown, Nazareth, and the villagers openly scoffed, pointing at my filthy self and tattered clothes. Dirty, lazy layabout were some of the kinder words thrown at me. I came to my mother's door with the feeling of dread, since I knew she would be more shocked than her neighbors when she saw me stand in front of her. Thin, bones showing through my skin, eyes sunken and cheeks hollowed out, face burnt black and lips blistered with the sun, and beard grown long and straggly. My clothes. She would be outraged when she saw my clothes. Their original color wholly obscured by desert dust and the cloth torn and ragged. I mounted the steps and braced myself to endure the heat of my mother's fury. When I knocked, my sister came to the door. She looked at me, open-mouthed, wide-eyed and frightened, then slammed the door in my face. I could hear her running to the back of the house screaming, "Mother, come quickly. There is a dirty old man at the door." I could hear my mother muttering crossly to herself, hurrying to the door, flinging it open. She stood, rooted in shock. I smiled, but for a moment she looked me up and down with increasing horror as she realized this dreadful creature was indeed her wayward son, Jesus. I held out my hand to her, saying, "I know I cause you much pain, but can you help me?" Immediately, her expression changed, and drawing me inside, she secured the door. "Quick," she said to my frightened sister, "stop that noise and put water on to boil. Your brother is starved. It doesn't matter what trouble he has got into. He belongs to us. He must be looked after." Gently, she helped me take off my clothes and bent me over a large container of water and scrubbed me clean. She washed and trimmed my hair and beard and lightly covered the sores on my body and lips with a healing salve. Neither of us broke the silence. I savored the love she showed me and tried to show my gratitude by a more gentle and sensitive approach. And that's the end of page 3.
I tell you, when you said that last part, he's family and bring him in, it reminded me of Uncle Joey when he was really messed up and grandma had to take him in. I mean, the guy was actually hiding in the attic from the cops.
Right. It doesn't matter what trouble he has got into. He belongs to us.
They
And he
had
must be
warrants
looked
out
after,
for him
right?
and everything. He was
Yeah,
he was
doesn't
hiding
matter.
in the attic.
How many
And
times did I
that's-
come back to the doorstep, fucking scraggly,
Amen.
and skinny, and fucking
Amen. And you know what?
yeah.
You know what? He belongs to us. He must be looked after, right?
Right.
And you know that's the love. That's the love of your parents for you, and that's the love we have for our family. And you know it's a big part of this. You know that's
You
real
know
love.
how much my dad
That's
loves me?
unconditional love.
He
Dad.
said to me, "I kick you out." I don't know if it was real. Like it came from a loving place. Now that I
Your
look at it.
mother. Your mother.
Your mother's a good example of this. I would
Yeah.
say.
You out of the house, you come back.
Thank your
Kick
mother.
you out of the house. You look
Every
like
day.
You're
Kiss your mother.
come home,
Hello.
you look like you're gonna die or some shit, and he was like, "I guess you died in my basement." You know, it was like just you know, even though I don't
Hey,
know.
your father burnt down my house.
Yeah, burnt down your house. Get out of here.
Oh shit! With the fireplace. Oh yeah.
You gonna start telling stories about corn neck over there? Okay.
Oh yeah. You want to tell us about Joe Bongiorno?
What park was that you got stabbed in the leg? Lincoln, what was
Park.
Knickerbocker Park.
Knickerbocker Park in
He was
Brooklyn.
an up and coming
It too.
runner. He was a
track
Just
star.
in-
He was a
just
track
like in
star.
Greece, when Travolta's running a.
He just
Joe
got new
Bongiorno.
running shoes.
That is-
I got my new shoes,
Showed me
Lieutenant
those fucking
Dan.
medals. I don't know how many times I had to look at those fucking medals.
You see these medals?
I
I got silver and then I got gold with my new shoes.
Ever since then, his name was Cornneck.
Tell the corn neck story before we go to break. Come on. Tell the people. Tell the people. Come on.
Hey, Cornneck.
Come on, Pops. Give us the story. Give us corn neck. Come on.
Buddy.
Corn neck.
And a big fucking head, too.
Dude.
Tell us about corn neck.
Yo,
Come on.
Corn
Tell
neck,
the
if
story.
you're still out there, we're gonna set up a boxing match with the man of the people. Corn neck versus Grandpa.
Probably dead by now.
Corn neck.
Oh man.
Corn neck. Step
We're not getting a story from Pops. I really wanted Pops to tell a story. Can you tell us a story, Pops?
Corn neck story. That's it.
Me and Cornneck one time. We were in Brooklyn.
Put the camera on it. Put the camera on the old man. Go ahead. Put the camera on him. Get it, Pops. You got the floor.
Okay, and by Knickerbocker Park, there was a Cameo's diner, right? And all the booths were there. We started to go have a hot chocolates and everything, right? And they had a couple of machines outside, right? And it was raining, and they were busy in there. And me and Cornneck robbed the fucking machines. We had to go. We walk in the city. We put the raincoat over the machines and walking with it. And he lived across the street from the 83rd precinct. Beside, we had to pass the cops for it. We went down to his basement and we tried to break the fucking thing. I think we ended up getting about $60 out of the fucking thing.
What were they? The parking meters? The parking meters?
No, this is machines, like gum machines.
Oh.
Those gum machines. We walked through this about 5 blocks with them. It was raining.
How old?
The Adventures of Lenny and Cornneck.
Oh,
16 years old. The Adventures of Lenny and Cornneck, did you say?
yeah, that's what I said. 1956.
Brooklyn Dodgers. What's
The
that guy's
Brooklyn
name?
Dodgers.
Call whatever.
Duke Schneider. Duke Schneider.
that was my guy.
Call for
Yeah, he was not the superstar like the other ones, like Mantle, but he was close. He hit around 40, 45 home runs a year.
That's
Average,
impressive. Yeah.
It was good, yeah. The other ones were hitting 50s and 60s, so they didn't get all the
Stellar,
publicity. But he was my guy because of my team, the Brooklyn.
Who
Brooklyn
was your
Dodgers.
catcher? Roy Campanella?
I named my first dog after him, Duke. Yeah.
Duke Schneider, right? Yeah, you were a big. But who was the catcher for Brooklyn? The Roy Campanella?
Yeah.
Campanella,
Roy
right?
And Pee Wee Reese was for the Yankees shortstop.
No, Pee Wee Reese
he
was
was for the Dodgers.
Pee Wee Reese was the Dodgers. There was Rizzuto.
Rizzuto was
Phil Rizzuto, who became the announcer.
Holy cow!
Holy cow! That's right. That's
Who was
good.
the-
Any more?
Who was Howard Cosell? Remember Howard Cosell back then?
and
And Wolfman Jack too.
Come on, wait. We got another
When I was
story
a
from
kid-
Pops.
And when I was a kid, we had to save our Borden's LC wrappers for the ice cream, and they accumulated, and we all got tickets to go to Ebbets Field for the Brooklyn
Oh,
Dodgers.
wow.
Yeah,
That's so cool. Man, that would take a lot of milk cartons nowadays to go to Yankees. I'll tell you that.
It was fun though.
When I was in 5th grade, we went to the Jets training camp. It was sick. We were fucking like playing football with the
Oh,
Jets.
really?
Yeah,
Ooh,
the
that's
Jets
nice.
guys. And
Wow,
shit.
that's cool.
The plate. It was like we had to read a certain amount of books, and like I don't know if my teacher was fudging the numbers or what, but I know that I was reading books, and they log it, and our class actually won it, and we went. It was pretty cool. I still remember that. It was Mrs. Koch's like 5th grade class. I also had her in like 2nd grade.
And you played with the pros?
There was like a little training camp.
Ah.
It was like a field day with the Jets at the.
That's nice.
I forgot. It was like this. You drive past it. I'm pretty sure, like on the Belt Parkway. It's this big like training facility.
Well, anyway, you fill me up.
Fill me up. Fill the man.
Fill
Other
me up,
people.
buddy.
Fill me up. All right, let's take our break now, guys. What do you think?
Which one do I want you to play? Don't play Sweet Violet Noel. I guess you
Okay.
could do. You could do. What about that country one? What is the name of
It's
it?
probably going to play a couple, I would imagine. So you got which one is that? Long Way to Go?
You could play that one. That one's a good one.
And then Walk in the Park will play after?
Sure.
All right, guys. We get this going. We're going to take a quick break. What do you guys think? Like 10 minutes, whatever?
Yeah, man. I got to take a trip to the shed. You know,
All
get
right.
a drink and a donut.
All right, boys. We'll
Got a
be
long way to
back.
go.
Been chasing the night like I'm starved. Ain't got a reason or a clue where we are, but we were born to be wandering. A long road full of gravel and mud. Out here running like Thelma and Lou. Might have gotten a little out of hand. My best intentions didn't go as planned. That's okay, we gon' get there one day. I got a bad attitude and a long way to go. I got a red wine stain on the right side of my soul. I got a busted down Chevy and a few good friends, but you know, I got a bad attitude and a long way to go. I could settle down, but not today. I'm taking bets on when I'm gonna change. But I've been sitting here thinking about running away. Cause when the dust settles, I'm a little wild. Got the wildfires in my eyes. I'm a problem, but I'm one of a kind, and that's alright. We gon' get there one day. I got a bad attitude and a long way to go. I got a red wine stain on the right side of my soul. I got a busted down Chevy and a few good friends, but you know, I got a bad attitude and a long way to go. My best intentions didn't go as planned. That's okay, cause I'm a little wild. Got the wildfires in my eyes. I'm a problem, but I'm one of a kind, and that's alright. I got a bad attitude and a long way to go. Long way to go. I got a red wine stain on the right side of my soul. I got a busted down Chevy and a few good friends, but you know, I got a bad attitude and a long way to go. I got a bad attitude and a long way to go. I got a bad attitude and a long way to go.
sunny place, somewhere they walk the dog, somewhere children play, where old men sit and play checkers all day. When I die, bury me in a sunny place, somewhere they walk the dog, somewhere children play, where old men sit and play checkers all day. Oh, oh, when I die, bury me in a sunny place, somewhere they walk the dog, somewhere children play, where old men sit and play checkers all day.
Yeah. Look. Yeah. Look. Yeah. I was broke on the bus, now my car tab different from the half to the loft. Same heart, no mission. Used to scrape for a swipe, now the gate just listen. Every bar swing bad like the part went missing. I don't talk on the net, I just log out mentions. Turn a thread to a headline, blog that tension. Short fuse, calm face, that's bomb prevention. You don't really want smoke, you want comments, attention. I'm the tooth in the pit bull, grip don't slip. Whole style look rented, text still on drip. You a quote from a quote, I'm the source of the script. I'm the part in the flick where the crowd goes sick. Whoa, it's that uptown uppercut, thick tens double cup. If it ain't about a bag, we double up. Whole crew jumping out the truck. Talk snake, better buckle up. New York on my tongue when I'm coming up. New York on my tongue when I'm coming up. New York on my tongue when I'm coming. I got pain in the lab, got a joke in the funeral. Every bar do numbers, every post is a numeral. Try to box me in, I turn the room to a cubicle. Cut a square out the circle, made the shape more suitable. Made peace with the hate, made change from the doubt. Made the block see the vision when the bank tapped out. I pray on the loss, I just blank that route. Turn the L to a logo, then I cash that clout. Hey, you might be next, I'm the date on the fly. I'm the pen in the fire, I'm the rent, you expired. You got paid for a verse, I got paid to inspire. You got paid for a look, I got paid to retire. Hold up. It's that uptown uppercut, thick tens double cut. If it ain't about a bag, we double back, we double up. Whole crew jumping out the truck. Talk snake, better buckle up. New York on my tongue when I'm coming up. New York on my tongue when I'm coming up. New York on my tongue when I'm coming up. New York on my tongue when I'm coming up.
Hey. Yeah, maybe that's life, just maybe that's fate. Maybe the scale was never meant to balance the weight. Bills on the table while my dream.
again. Coffee spilled on my only clean shirt, man. Sun's too bright, but I'm half asleep. Stumble through the rhythm of the street. Check my phone, got a message read. Don't be late, it's already said. Tie my shoes while I'm out the door. Same old song, but I've heard it before. Step to the left, step to the right. Catch that beat, everything's alright. Little bit wrong, little bit right. Still gonna dance through the day and just another day in the life. Oh yeah, skanking through the trouble, don't care. Got that upstroke feel in the air. Let it bounce, let it take me there. Just another day in the life. Sun goes down, but the moon stay bright. Every little thing gonna be just fine when the rhythm hits on the offbeat time. Woo! Boss man talking, but I drift away. Thinking about the band gonna play tonight. Clock hands moving way too slow, but my head's in a different show. Lunch break walk with a swinging step. Hear that rhythm, yeah, it ain't left yet. City noise got a ska back beat. Turn the whole block to a dance floor street. Lean with the groove, don't you fight. Every little thing gonna line up right. Wrong or right, day or night. We keep it moving in black and watch another day in the life. Oh yeah, skanking through the trouble, don't care. Got that upstroke feel in the air. Let it bounce, let it take me there. Just another day in the life. Sun go down, but the moon stay bright. Every little thing gonna be just fine when the rhythm hits on the offbeat time. Then pick it up, arms on the rise. Feel that jump, no compromise. Kick and snare, gonna hold it tight while the guitar chops all night. Whoa, don't slow down. Spin that trouble right around. Whoa, hear that sound. Lift your feet up off the ground. Just another day in the life. Oh yeah, turn it up, let it fill the air. Every step got a groove to share. Feel
Song's
that
lame.
bounce everywhere. Just another day in the life, alright. Laugh it off, keep
Oh,
the
the moose-
vibe
moose
inside. Even when it don't go right, we still dance.
Lily, you
through
look
the
happy.
day and
Why are you so
night.
happy?
What? Everybody's so happy.
Lily's so happy.
Needed break. We got good music.
Yeah, man. We
I
played a
must
few of
say,
your
not,
songs
not
there.
bad. Not bad.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me take
Did you
this
hear
and
the
that.
music, Michael?
Mikey played the music.
Oh, he played it up.
Yeah, I played it, man. I'm DJ over here.
He put it up.
When I'm out there in the interweb on Spotify at Nardo space I. Give me a follow. Drop new stuff all the time. I try to do like one a week, but sometimes life gets crazy. But I put out all new stuff all the time. Mikey does too. Mikey makes. We started off. Why don't you go into what you made?
Yes.
Correlates
So,
a lot.
yeah, I correlate a lot of stuff to this right now. I've been doing a lot of this. I'm trying to go back into like the other kind of music. I'm gonna put out some dance music and stuff. I like doing that. But lately it's been a lot of like religious type music. I've been trying to bring back some of the try to like give this stuff.
Elvis Presley, a lot of good gospel music. Check out Elvis Presley.
You know what? I should probably do some of them in the style of like Elvis and Johnny Cash. That might be coming. You know what? Let me write that down. That's actually great. Hold on. We're going to do some.
Matter of fact, most of his awards were for gospel. They're not rock and roll.
Gospel. We'll do Elvis and Johnny Cash style music with the Gnostic teachings and stuff. And yeah, and the spiritual. I'm gonna do that. I'm glad you brought that up, Pops. That's good. I mean, it's not going to be Johnny Cash and Elvis. It'll be that kind of music, the way they put it over back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, like big band jazz is like absolutely fire.
I love it. Yeah.
So
No, that's
fire.
another
If
thing. Let
you
me write that
you want
down
to play
too.
one
Big
more
band.
song? Play. I think it was Skydance on Spotify. It was just like a straight up jazz tune. No instrumental. Sick.
Skylark, you mean?
I made a little song with AI. It's called Skydance.
Oh,
with like,
Skydance. Oh, okay.
but the way the piano like hits the pocket in the song, bro, is like retarded. It's so
Let's hear
good.
it.
So,
Is this a new one you just put out recently?
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah.
Let's see.
You got a bunch of songs now.
Let's hear that one.
Let's see.
man.
Well, Skydance it's called. Okay.
I-
All right, let's give it a rock real quick, guys. Let me get it up on the screen again.
My dog wants a treat. Excuse me.
Hey, Mike, I sent you a message.
All right, you got it. All right, let's try Skydance Big Band. Apparently. Yeah.
So many things coming together.
Sounds good. Yeah. Nice, Letty. That was a good song.
Pretty sick, right?
Yeah, it was very good.
So many
Yeah.
different things coming together. You know what? The piano, it was the guitar that hit the pocket crazy, but some of the piano like runs it was doing reminded me of that. What is that guy? Bruce Hornsby.
Okay.
Is that his name? I don't know. I don't know. The way that guy played the piano and that shit just sounded very similar to me. You know, I like that the piano.
Yeah.
So cool. Such a cool instrument.
So Lenny sent me some stuff. I guess he wants to talk about. I'm trying to get him up. A bunch of image files he sent me. Let me see what I could. do here? I
What-
got that. Let's see. Got this. I don't know what you want to talk about, Len. If you're on here, are you muted? Where are you? There you are.
Wow.
I put it up on the screen. Did you want to talk about this stuff? I don't. Or you want me not to?
No, it was 188 the number. So I put it in and then put it in the Q alerts, and that's the top thing that come up. We are Q. And then if you look at it, it says Enoch, keyword media keywords contributor. Enoch.
It's God,
Panic
right?
in DC. Best is yet to come. Q. It's just odd, man.
Ever since we've been
All right.
talking about numbers and adding digits, dude, like most of the times I'll just like take random numbers like on people's license plates while I'm driving and they always add up to 17, bro. It's so fucked up.
That's
17,
funny.
17, 17 everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
Everywhere.
look at that. 881 is 17.
That's everybody's
Yeah.
number. She was born the 17th. And I used to
Look
play
at
the
that
7th.
shit. I didn't even realize that till you just said that.
Come on, bro.
And you
I'm
got
a
this here. I guess Sarah Carter confirms Judge. Oh, it's an old ass. Oh, it's from 2019. Okay, so you were just sending me some like.
Well, that whole case just they settled that for 1 point. They settled Flynn's case, and now they just settled that case. And he was saying 159 all day with these Navy ships. He got pissed off about this guy from the media. He's like, you got to blah blah blah, and he said 159 twice. I said, let me throw that into the Q drops, right? So I throw it into the Q drops. You wouldn't believe the top one was like,
it
forget
was
it.
that meme of Trump with the violin. It says
Yeah, so I sent you the block
my
there.
song. This is a little song
The
called
other one with Obama hanging out in the bushes, the skull. And then you got Julie Donuts' new donut line with Trump donuts. Oh, so funny. And then there was some other little memes. One of the memes said, when we're done, it'll be like you were never even here. And it's Trump poking Obama.
I got it up on the screen now. All the memes.
Oh my God. So I mean it's just so funny. Then the other one was what? Oh, that was
my
the
next
thing
trip
about
up liberal
John
take.
Roberts, man. John Roberts and
Okay.
when this hypersonic clarity comes, like that guy could be exposed in some of that shit. I don't know. I have no
Dude, the
idea.
whole operation has been
Right.
exposed.
And then I don't know. This other thing came up with this Flint thing, and it says Sarah Carter in the box. The thing is like 7 years old, and I think they just one. I don't know, unless it was another Carter guy. It just seemed like just funny how, I have no idea, but it's just like everything reconnects, like you were saying before with the 369, and it's just I can't even tell you how many revolutions of the same shit since 10 years ago.
But like I said, it's different each time for the people
It
that have
is.
been
And
in
every
the people that have
time,
been in the whirlwind since the beginning. Every
well,
iteration, you're at a
now it's
different
now it's
level of consciousness a little.
right, but now it's elevated to the point where you know, they got juries going. And who knows what they've had going for this long with all this RICO action that's been, like if they were just monitoring that shit, forget it. And at some level they were, right? Like people were keeping an eye out on things. So it's
Oh, they
freaking
got
interesting
they got
times.
W. Bush up there in that one. Okay,
Was that Jeb?
that looks like
Oh,
George.
that's the president.
Um,
That's the
It's
president.
Georgia time.
Yeah, that was the president.
his two
So
adoptive Irish. Oh wow. Okay. Woof. Woof.
Yikes.
Well, there you go. There's our meme of the week section by Lenv77. Keeping true to our roots of memes.
yeah, that one that
Tell me,
said we fund the Nazis, that's a joke for the
That story.
SPLC
Right. That
because
story
they
you
were
were saying before.
actually putting hate crimes on people. In the meantime, they're actually funding Nazis and KKK. I mean, it's quite a crazy story. And then it gets worse because they actually partnered with some federal agencies as far as whatever, like you can put that in
Okay.
Iraq and get all,
Well,
So, I mean, it was like all
uh,
intertwined in everything.
it's a law firm, right? What was the name of
Southern
it?
Poverty Law Center. But they were
Southern
used,
Poverty
but they
Law.
were used like in cases, statistics, shit like that. I mean, they were leaned on. They were partnered. They were in it.
Were
Like,
they a credible agency, or
In
was it a?
Brooklyn.
yes, I mean that's it. They seized the high ground. Meanwhile, as they seize this high ground, they're funding the low ground, and then having to get more money. Like they built a lot of people out of like probably a lot of money that thought they were given to good in their mind,
I mean,
and
wasn't
Right.
Bill Clinton fucking with the KKK? Like, didn't they have like pictures of him with the one of the leaders or
I
some
don't know.
shit?
There's an old video of a guy who was like down in that area at that time, and you can really just watch that. And then there was another video called Clinton Cash from like I don't know, got to be 10 years ago. That is like on YouTube. Then you could just watch. Just
I
like the
saw
whole
that one.
yeah, just like the whole drug epidemic. You could watch that. What was that thing called? Dope sick, and
Yeah.
you can really get the fucking
Pretty sure Bill Clinton was
nuttiness
like
of
the governor of
that whole vibe that came
Little
swirling
Rock.
in.
He used to smoke weed years ago.
He
Clinton.
didn't inhale though. Remember, he said he didn't inhale. That was the big joke with him. I smoked in college,
Yeah,
but I
but I
didn't
mean, as
inhale.
that whole shit is, but that as
Yeah.
that whole shit has developed, it's developed into every fucking thing is a lie. Almost
Turns
like
out
what Michael
he was
stumbled into with the whole demiurge thing. I mean, I found that to be fascinating. Just theorizing about a society just built in like a congruent pattern of negativity to just suck the life out of you and not let you excel. Like even if you could just figuratively wrap your mind around some of these concepts and that book of Enoch, I mean, like you could just look at some of those passages and just get lost for a day in those if you wanted to. Like you don't have to rush through these things. It's not a requirement. It's really not, like and the things you stumble along the way, it's fascinating that other people are studying the same thing at the same time or speaking the same word. Like the other night, you were saying clarity. I'm looking at the phone all day and it's saying clarity. You're talking about something else, and then Lenny brings up in a reading the word clarity. And it's like trying to tell you something's going down. There's nowhere to run. It's happening. It doesn't
I've
matter
been
if you don't
seeing
want it to happen.
clarity. Clarity's been popping up constantly since that night
Constantly,
on everything. I mean, it kind of goes in line with what the stuff I read though, but it's funny that it's just constantly I see clarity.
right?
yeah,
And
the weird little mess.
some of it might not be the kindest information to hear. Like it's just might not be.
So I was watching a podcast with I forget which one it was. I think it was Sean Ryan, or I don't know. They were talking about these obviously good and bad, and like good always exists, but the bad, um, like the bad only exists if you allow it to exist, and that these people that like tap into this dark power, like I don't know how to really explain it. It was pretty profound when like it made sense to me. Like it only exists if you allow it to exist. Like if you let them into your life, like a sell your soul, like make a bargain with them type of deal. Like however that goes down, but it's pretty sick, because
Yeah,
they
I mean,
they
yeah, I mean, your consent is extremely important. If you don't consent to it, you don't have to consent to it. If you once you're aware of it, some people consent and they don't even realize. But if you're
well, that's
aware,
what I feel like this demiurge is that we all willingly, well, without realizing, consent, and slowly but surely, all of our freedoms get taken away. We're plagued with dark things like porn and alcohol and heroin and fentanyl and fucking all this bullshit, which they, if you give people heroin and alcohol and keep them fat as fuck, or, give them fast food and relying on all this BS and then hide the spiritual solution that changes lives. Like, think of we're in a time right now where it's coming back, I believe, but think of how long it took us all to really fully step through the door with God. Not that we didn't, but now we're on board. There's a lot of people we're in almost a degraded society where most of society doesn't even think of a higher power. They're used to seeing the devil on the TV, and that's it's great. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's important to remove yourself, I guess. You know what I mean? You don't need too much of that. I mean, everybody's exposed to it, but right, to try to get away from that mindset, it's hard because it's a lot of people don't even notice it's happening.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at, is that
right,
unbeknownst to yourself, is that you're trapped in this system.
It's craziness. I know.
Yeah, like we were saying previously, if you don't realize it's a problem, it's you don't do anything about it. So, and if you don't have God in your life, it's really, well, what's the big deal? It's just the way life is. It's the way the world works. But then when you center your life with God in it, you realize a lot of the things you did are bad, and then you like the step one, you recognize you have a problem, and if you don't recognize it, you're just doing it, and like the letters are teaching us, these things we do have an effect on our lives. So yeah, it's sad, but maybe enough people start realizing it, maybe they'll start changing their mindsets.
So where were we with the reading anyway?
God in us,
What did he say?
I said we all have God in us.
Absolutely, Pops. There you go. Yes, we do. We do have God in us. And, but some people don't realize that. They don't believe that. And if you did realize that, maybe you'd act, people would act differently, but when you're like the letter just said, let me go back. Let me go back one page.
Yeah. Page
right here, page 2, actually, page 2. They were controlled and motivated entirely by their twin impulses. They loved, hated, criticized, condemned, slattered, and gossiped, possessed ambitions to rise to the top of society. If that's all you're concerned about is becoming number one, having the most money, by all means possible, and you're not concerned about the greater good or the fact that, there is a higher power, then you will continue to live in this shallow way, and you will consent to the evil that Nardo was talking about.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Like the consent part, and it makes sense why, when you tell me about praying to declare it, it's a declaration. Like, you're making a declaration with God to do right in the moment, or for the day to come. That's what I like about you're also right about that special time in the morning. I've been getting up really early in the morning, just doing readings and just taking time for myself, because it's really the only time that I get. So, but man, what a difference it's been making. It's kind of like a little meditation.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Even though you can't make a meeting, you could still have your own meeting, and a lot of this you could do yourself too. And I'm glad it's, I start the same way. I try to start the day off like that, and usually it carries me through, the day.
Yeah. Turn your will over. The second I open my eyes to God.
So we left off where he got home, and his mother was a little upset, but they took him in. They cleaned him up. They gave him something to eat, and then that's where we left off. So we're at the top of page 4. I'll try to get a couple more pages done before we stop. I mean, I think last time we did about 5-6 pages when we started letter 1. Having helped me put on a clean robe, she sat me down to a frugal meal of bread, milk, and honey. Reluctantly, she gave me wine to pick up my strength, but it was obvious she thought that wine had been the cause of my shocking plight. Then she led me to a bed and placed a cover over me. I slept for several hours and woke refreshed to a morning, bright with sunshine seen through the window. I was now longing to talk to my mother, to tell her that I was indeed a Messiah, but not the kind the Jews imagined. I could save people from the bad results of their sins. I could help them find health, abundance, fulfillment of their needs, because I could now teach them exactly how the world had been created. As I tried to tell her, she started off by being excited and delighted. She jumped to her feet and wanted to rush out and tell the neighbors her son was indeed the Messiah. They should hear how nicely he now talked, and he had been fasting in the desert. But I stopped her from doing this. I said that I had not yet told her what had been revealed to me. One of the most important things I learned was that the Orthodox Jews were entirely wrong in their belief in an avenging God. There was no such thing. So this frightened and upset her, and she exclaimed, "How then will Jehovah govern the world and make us good and listen to his prophets if he does not punish us? How are you now so big that you are going to tell the high priests their own business handed down to them from the time of Moses? Are you going to bring more shame on this house?" She began to cry, saying with anger, "You've not changed a bit. You've only changed in what you're saying. You have brought me nothing but grief. How could I ever believed you would be a Messiah? You will only lead people into greater torment than ever before with your strange ideas." My brothers heard her wailing and came running, wanting to turn me out of the house. Because I did not want a disturbance, I offered to leave peacefully. If this was how my mother reacted, I could be sure that everyone else would react in the same way to what I wanted to tell them. I realized I needed a quiet time of absolute rest and silence in which to collect all my thoughts and experiences together. I would have to pray for inspired guidance on how to best approach the Jews with my message of good news. I was sure that the Father life would meet my need, and I would find the right accommodation somewhere. My mother, although furious with my seemingly big-headed attitudes, was nonetheless torn with her feelings of love and compassion for my emaciated condition. She rejected everything I appeared to stand for: rebelliousness, contempt for the Jewish religion, high-handed attitudes towards authority, my self-will and arrogance, but she still loved me and was deeply afraid that I would eventually land up in greater trouble than I had ever thought possible. She had admonished my brothers, telling them to hold their noisy arguments and turn to me. "You can stay here until you are better," she said. "Perhaps whilst you are here, I can talk some sense into you. I can tell you now, if you go out into the streets and begin talking as you have to me, you will end up in even worse state than ever. Good people will spit and throw their rotten rubbish on you. You are a disgrace to your family." Pretty wild.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about the teachings that he had, even in the New Testament, it was pretty much directly in opposition to the traditional.
On a donkey, and they would throw things at him. You remember the part in the Bible?
Yeah, I believe that was the part where they were actually throwing palm at his feet and saying that they were welcoming him to the town when he came in on a donkey. I think because it was prophesied that the Messiah would come on a donkey, and after that was the crucifixion, though. So how quick things change. They were welcoming him in and everything, and then they were also cheering his crucifixion not too long after. Pretty short time after. So yeah, so like I was saying previously, if even if you just follow just what the New Testament says, it's very different than what the Old Testament says. And a lot of people that read the Bible have experienced the contrast between the two things. So
Be the
The loving, a loving God, not a
A
vengeful
loving
God.
God, no vengefulness, no,
yeah.
and no sacrifices, no animal sacrifices. Jesus
The old
didn't. Jesus
yeah,
didn't sacrifice animals in the New Testament.
right.
Or
What
people.
else? Yeah, yeah. Well,
So now, if you correlate that to, right, you're talking about sacrifices and animals.
right.
It came out that like the stuff actually goes on. With
Right.
satanic rituals in today's time. So, I mean, I think that that in itself just proves that the bad side exists, with also proves that the good side exists as well. To me, it's like
Yeah,
complete
me
evidence
too.
right there. Like if it's in files that you have people sacrificing to it's in these weird places with high up. You know what I mean? It's like totally proves that.
I mean, I think that's some of what's kind of coming out, like with this hypersonic clarity shit. This Epstein guy was heavily involved with that, right? I mean, like everybody kind of knows by now. So, and
Look at
I'm looking at.
screaming, satanic pedophile, satanic pedophile, satanic pedophile. Well, what
Yeah,
about
whatever.
the
Like
loving
everybody
God?
should know by now. If they don't want to know, it's because they're just ignoring it or whatever. Like everybody's heard at least 1,000 times some crazy guy telling them that this could be true and whatever. And then the drops came and it kind of confirmed it, right? So it didn't it did confirm it. So now it's just a matter of do you give a shit about that kind of stuff or fuck it, has nothing to do with my life. I'm moving. You know what I mean? To me, it always bothered me, and it just was not something I could just blow off. But there are people that can just blow that shit off, apparently, right?
But it really goes to show you the spiritual well-being of the world. Like that we allow that to
I don't
exist.
know. I don't know. There's a lot of different theories on it. Like, what the
You're
fuck
okay.
could I do about it? I guess I.
That's the thing.
Well, and I think it's more about the people in charge that don't do anything about it. you know.
What are you willing to accept? I mean, that's the thing. But anyway, I just sent it to Mike's phone. I don't know if he could get it up there. But you remember that whole crossfire hurricane situation where they put that like smear on Trump and they scream Russia, Russia, Russia and all of that
Yeah.
shit and like right? So they just dropped this like today, I think, and it says right on it, December 8th, 2016. IC officers discuss the draft PDB, which finds that Russian and criminal actors did not impact recent U.S. election results by conducting malicious cyber activities against election infrastructure. The group, I mean, this is like bullshit. They screamed the exact opposite of this. I mean, this is nuts. We assessed that Russian and criminal actors did not impact recent U.S. elections results by conducting malicious cyber activities against election infrastructure. I mean, this is nuts. So there's people that are going to have to answer to that, and they happen to be like caught up, and now they spent that guy Joe Dejan over there, down there, and supposedly he's no joke whatsoever. So things are going to get heated fast because
I get.
that's tied right into like the names that now. Let's see who this. There's two parts to that. That's letter one, and then I got the other letter. So let me just take a look at the other side of that.
I didn't get anything in the messages. So I don't know
So
if.
says, "Holy shit! These documents that Tulsi Gabbard declassified prove everything. Obama should be in prison. Holy shit!" So I read to you one on the left. Now on the right, the next page says December 9th, the Obama White House gathers top cabinet officials for a security council principal. So the people that were in this fucking thing, oh man, it looks
I
kind
had
of.
a like a special meeting about it, like in the
Yeah,
White.
it's like it's Clapper, it's Brennan. I can't read that. They made these red circles and it's kind of smeary. but there's a lot of big names in this thing. Susan Rice. So
Has there ever been
Lorenzo,
a treason trial in the United States, like in the last like 60, 50 years,
you have to put it into the grok. It'll tell you everything. It'll
or
tell you the whole.
like a public one at least?
I mean, yeah, I think people do get caught selling state secrets, and that's it. Like that. There's listed, and then I'm sure there's people get caught, and then there's probably people that they don't even list their names. I would think. Who the heck knows? But and another story that popped today is something he did something with pot again. So
Yeah, classified it to like a Schedule One drug instead of
yeah,
or
it says the more
dropped it from a Schedule One to a Schedule Three.
yeah. So people won't get in as much trouble, I guess, or how does that work?
Well, he dropped it down to a lower classification, which opens it up to more studies as far as medicine, and I probably even further
Wow. So if
innovation.
that's so if they do correct testing on it and
But
they
also, I
find
thought of it.
medical
Hold on a second
cures,
before I lose this. Back in the day, when they outlawed hemp, there was a huge feud between the tree companies and the hemp companies because hemp is a more readily, easily growing weed. Basically, you can make oil out of it. You can make gasoline out of it. You can make clothes out of it. You could fucking. It's a cash crop. It could be used so many different ways. Trees, you can only do so many things with trees. But at the time, heavy hands were in the presidency and people were lobbied and had
so they
certain.
bent the truth and they changed the laws like they do now.
Yes. And also, I think that there's a huge correlation to like awakenings and marijuana, just as far as like thought, like deep thought, at least. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I
I
think.
mean, I do. I kind of do know something about this because this. I mean, it all kind of is relative to this SPLC thing, like they create the narrative, they manipulate the narrative, they monetize it. It's like
Yeah,
they create it and then they monetize it. And that's what they probably did with that because I remember like as a kid reading in the history books that a lot of the founding fathers were in that business. And then with this whole great awakening like 3 4 weeks ago there was a bunch of videos about what this place was like in the 1850s and what it turned into in the 19 in that 50 60 70 year period. A lot changed and we don't really know exactly what changed. It's kind of got hidden like this happened prior to World War I, like in the century before that, in that
Well, the
civil
war
after
was
the
the
Civil War.
Revolutionary War was about breaking away from Britain, right? But apparently, that those big money interests and the crown and all that shit, we never really broke away from them. They've infiltrated us in so many different ways. So really, what we've experienced is a lack of slow, a slow reduction of your freedoms over a X amount of time, and then we get here. You know.
Now, a lot of the story was after that Civil War, like in 1871, we got incorporated. And then in that 1913, that was with the Titanic and the whole paying taxes that we didn't even pay taxes until 1913. But there's something between that time period that happened, like that really wiped out a lot of stuff, it seems. Like they were even talking about dams being built to hide certain things about the Grand Canyon that there's so much space in there that you're not allowed to go in. It's quite interesting stuff. And then people finding old books from 1850s and 1860s. And that's when the Rockefellers came into the whole medical industry part. And this vaccine issue is not as new as you think. And, it's been going on since, right, Mike? I mean, years ago, you found cartoons from the 1800s about vaccinations, right?
Well, I think it was early 1900s. There was some negative cartoons, like political cartoons about
Yeah.
vaccinations being poison, and they had like a ghost, they drew like a ghost and like I don't know,
Yeah, they
something
had the
like that.
smallpox in those days. You know.
Well,
Gotta get
apparently they put that smallpox thing. I'm not sure if it was a smallpox or the
Now
measles.
listen to this, Dad. They are finding out that back in the day, I guess back in your grandparents' day, that they were big on getting rid of their parasites, and somewhere in the medical industry, that whole process went away. Like somewhere
Yeah,
back in
with
that,
holistic cures to these ailments.
yeah,
I heard anything about that.
yeah. I mean, maybe your family didn't get into it, but there was other people that were running medicine like a total.
My family, if you had parasites, they put it in the sauce.
Maybe
Right,
that's what
like
he got. He
nobody
got a
cared, you
fucking
know.
like tapeworm in his ass or something.
But how did they take care of the sick people? The people who took care of the sick people. What did they use? Do you remember that?
Wait, what's the question again? I'm sorry.
The people who took care of the people who got sick. What were they using for remedies?
Like, what was their medicine
For what?
back in the day? Like, was it a
For
pill?
what disease are you talking about?
See,
Let's
let's
say
say if you didn't feel good, or you didn't, or you had a
Went to the
rash,
doctor. He gives us a prescription. Sometimes he gives us a shot, and that was it.
ointments,
there
right?
you
The
go.
How we
ointments,
went growing up. You know.
and that's it. Whatever he said, whatever he did, that's it. You did it.
Well,
That's it.
then, well, I mean, think
And
about it.
it works for me. You know. Had a
Yeah,
good doctor.
you trust them, and
Growing
that's
up.
it.
My mother brought me
Ah,
to the doctors, the best doctors around. So
so
yeah.
you
What did
basically
they do
just
about your eltitis?
handed over your whatever they said
My
goes.
computers to somebody.
Right,
No,
whatever
what
they
did they do?
said goes. I mean, they're
What
the
did they do
experts.
about your
Go with what they
elephantitis?
say.
When I hand over.
Takes a lot to break out of that kind of mindset that they might not be, you know, on the up and up as you would like, in all aspects, in all things.
What are you talking about? Give me for instance.
Well, just anything, you know what I mean? To just like not go along with everything they say.
You give me an
Sometimes
instance. I'm telling you, give me one. I want one.
it could be anything. Could be
I want
anything at
one.
all. It
One
doesn't matter
instant.
what it is.
One instant.
It doesn't matter. Just turn it. Hey, listen, they're finding out that like even that tetanus shot was not that good for you. Like there's a lot of shit
Yo,
out there.
apparently, yo,
Really?
fucking, I think it came out like
Wow.
ticks were bioengineered on fucking
Yeah. Like they
right.
fuck with us. Like you think everything's on the up and up. Like I'm hearing stories right now that they're releasing ticks and have a fucking vaccine ready I mean, I can't believe this shit is still happening with this. It's amazing, but that's what I'm hearing.
You
Like,
check that out. The FBI, because that's
uh,
really robbing people, man.
fuck, it's crazy. Like people,
Fucking their health up too.
farmers are finding like boxes of ticks and shit. It's
Yo,
fucking.
you see those things? I saw a few videos like that.
I mean, it's kind of like wild to watch.
Like the
It's
tick
like,
sound. But then again, this deep fake AI bullshit going around, man. It's so hard.
yeah, I know. And you know what? My Grok stopped working. Like it was working, and now when I
I
throw
don't know. He
shit
showed
in,
me a fucking blob flying through the sky, and he's like, "It's the Archon." And I'm like, dude, like,
that
I
was
don't,
that was
I don't,
crazy. That video.
I don't know
That's
if I don't know, man.
I like. Hey man, I threw that right in, and it said, "Hey, listen, that guy, that
Grok
Wilcox.
verified it.
Listen to me. That guy Wilcox. Listen to me. That guy Wilcox that just died or whatever, suicide or
Got
disappeared or
all weird
whatever.
on me when I started talking about him before. I don't know what
Yeah, like he was saying some stuff about a vibration coming, a very high vibration, and they know it's coming. And
you told me. I said something about extension, and you were like, "Nope, no."
well, we
But
got to get
that's
through some of these letters. You can't, otherwise, if you don't get through
you're
some of
doing
these
it again.
letters, you'll
Why do
never
you
get
fucking
through.
Wilcox?
Some of those videos
Wilcox
are
you.
outrageous.
He fucking
They're
Wilcox.
crazy.
Wilcox will not.
Hey, I heard that big vibration came from
Mike, throw
Romeo
throw one of
Fight.
that guy's videos up there. You
Ah,
got
come on.
any?
Dad had a good joke. Why do you got to step on people's jokes?
The
What was
demiurge,
the
Mike.
Dad?
Demiurge.
Dude,
I heard there was.
1V77 is the demi.
Shut up! I want to hear what Dad. You said there was a big. What was the cause of that vibration?
Oh, yeah, Rosie O'Donnell's Rosie O'Donnell's vibrator.
See, how could you
What's
walk
wrong
on
with
that
you?
joke? That
How
was
could you- how
fantastic.
could- yeah,
Come on, that was
that's what it was.
All right.
You asked for it. You got it. You know, you asked for that. You got it.
I listen.
What came
The
first,
old,
the
the old man
chicken?
makes me laugh.
Nothing
What do
can
you want?
stop what's
The
coming.
rooster, I
Nothing.
told you. That's
Nothing
the
at all.
answer.
Yeah,
I got
Yeah,
Rosie.
It's the
It's
rooster.
Rosie.
Dad,
The rooster.
Dad.
Ah,
Pops.
That's
Pops.
he made the egg.
Pops.
The rooster made
Pops.
the egg.
The rooster.
The rooster.
What
that's
came?
Tapping your,
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
keep tapping your foot. Athena's sleeping downstairs.
Oh,
yeah, stop,
Stop.
knock it off.
I forget it. I was trying. Nobody could hear me
You know
apparently.
what I could go for
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now? Fucking some cookies and milk, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure you would like those.
We gotta end this madness. It's 20 to 10 here. How many hours we going?
I mean, if you guys want to stop, I mean, I you know, I
Well,
where
Well,
do
you
Yeah,
gotta
think
go.
did
You gotta
I-
play some music, right? I mean, you gotta go out with music. I want to hear "It's Never Gonna Be the Same." That's like, I really like that song.
It's
All right, well, we
never
got we.
gonna be
Where did we
where's
get
it
to?
at?
Let's remember where we got to. I think 5. So page 5 for next time.
Page 5. All right, letter 2.
Try to
Page
remember
5.
5.
I gotta try to read this stuff before we get on the air next week.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I gotta
if
get
you-
back to reading. This guy blew through all of these letters and all of that. Unbelievable. Made all that music. That music's crazy, man. Somebody's gonna pick that stuff up and learn a lot of stuff from that music.
Great meditation.
I actually have been using the meditation music when I'm like studying stuff. I love that stuff, and yeah, it's good stuff. But what did you want? What about Gray? You got Gray on there, Lenny. Should we put that on, or you don't like that?
That was
version?
just the original, not the original one that we did, but just
Doing,
like the original
doing both.
one popped out of the thing. I think the one that I
Um,
originally sent, that I never put out because I didn't like it, and then I was just like, "Fuck it, I'll put it out."
So what do you guys think? We're gonna wrap it up?
Play a little music for a while, man. Play a couple of songs. What the heck?
Well, I mean, you know, we're not gonna. We have to tell everybody we're not coming back, right? I mean, like, I'm not just gonna play music. I'm gonna play like 2 songs.
I'm down
I can't
to
really.
stick around.
Tell him we're gonna hang
Then
out.
why are we stopping then?
So play some
I
music.
don't know. He fucking does.
I don't really want to play
Demiurge.
music, Lenny. I mean,
Do it.
yeah, you're the he's the demiurge.
He's the demiurge.
He is. He's an archon. That's what I'm trying to realize.
How do you combat the demiurge?
I mean, you know, you just,
The Lord smites you.
Oh, Demiurge.
just let it do its thing. You know, that's it. Let it do
Archon,
its
you no
thing.
longer serve me.
Anarchies. The
Archon, you no
Anarchies are
longer
coming,
serve me.
baby.
Archon, you no longer
Save the
serve me.
day.
Archon, you no longer serve me.
That's it.
Sometimes it be like that, son.
I mean, I could mute him. I am the host. I could throw
You
him right off
can.
the stage. I'll go ahead and do that.
I
So
just
don't let me use my band.
All right,
hammer
then
on you.
go. What are you doing? Let's go. I
I
want
don't know, go
to
to
hear.
bed. I mean, all right. So
Oh.
Lenny, Nardo, you're cool going, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Pop is here.
All right.
He's the man of the people.
And
All right. So then
and the
we'll
universe.
keep going. We'll ignore the Archon.
Demiurge, the Archon.
Lenny V77. And we'll keep rocking and rolling. And Lenny, if you want to listen to music,
Nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing.
You know, go put Spotify on in the shed or something. You know.
All
All
right.
right. Let me
take a break.
let me let me see where. I don't know where we were. She called me freshly woke. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So despite her anger, I laughed and thanked her and kissed her warmly. Gladly, I remained with her, knowing very well that underneath her anger, she was deeply anxious for me. She fed me well and made me good new clothes. I appreciated all she did towards improving my appearance, as I knew that to move freely between the rich and poor, I must be acceptably clad in decent garments. At time there were few food shortages in the home. Drawing on the power of my father, I replenished them, saying nothing. Neither did she. I knew she wondered sadly whether, to all my other bad habits, I now added that of a thief. So, and then she caught me with freshly baked loaf in my hands and knew that I had not been out of the house to buy it, and neither had the stove been used that day. She said nothing, but gave me a strong, pondering look. I could see her attitudes change at the moment. She was no longer sure of her ground. She was beginning to question her own attitudes toward me and also the truth of my statements. What really happened to him out in the desert? How could he make a loaf of bread without fire, flour, or yeast? What does this mean? Is he the Messiah? Then my brother cut his hand. He was in much... What happened?
Hello.
How you doing? I was reading. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was supposed to do, was read the letters. So maybe I should have went to music. I guess you guys are done.
Yeah, music. Get to music.
I didn't say
I want to
that.
hear some music, man.
Go outside and go listen to the music.
Sings
You
that.
got it?
Yeah, no, you gotta put it on your phone. Go put Sing Snap on, and then you can.
Oh
play
no,
it.
I'm talking about this. You get it? Don't you have music here on the screen? I see an arrow here. No. Oh no, it's not an arrow.
Never mind.
Give Papa, give Papa
There's multiple archons floating around apparently.
You get any songs on this page?
No, we're all out of songs.
There's no songs on there.
You could. Why don't you sing us something?
I need a Sing Snap for that. I did a couple recent ones on Sing Snap.
Yeah, let me hear one. Let me hear you sing one.
Page, and then we'll decide. We'll take a unanimous decision.
Right. Finish the
Sounds
page.
good. I'll finish the page. So the brother cut his hand. He was in much pain and it festered. He allowed me to put my hands on his wound and quietly pray. I could see that he felt the power flow into his hand because he looked at me strangely. The pain has gone, he said briefly. He was surly as he walked away and knew that whilst he was relieved to be free of pain, he did not like me having been able to help him. I sensed his jealousy. My sister scalded her hand, and another brother often complained of bad headaches. I was able to cure them both. My brothers and sisters began to joke about my magic powers. They questioned what evil I might do to them if they angered me. The tension in the home deepened, and I felt sadness for my mother, who longed for peace in the house. But she saw changes in my behavior and was comforted. I was quieter, visibly controlled likely outbursts, reined in my energy, curbed my impatience, and no longer argued. I became more caring, listened to her womanly grumbles, helped her in the house by repairing broken furniture, and walked the hills to distant farms to find the fruit and vegetables she wanted. I came to love her tenderly and compassionately as a mother should be loved. One day she ventured to ask me, "Do you still say that Jehovah is a myth?" Job said that if Jehovah were to withdraw his breath, all flesh would collapse together. That is the Jehovah I believe in and saw. No one has seen Jehovah, she said firmly. I saw that which has brought all things into being, I replied quietly. And I call it the Father because it is perfect love. Love more perfect than a mother's, I added, smiling at her. It works in, through, and for all its creation. It is the Father in me, which has brought you the things you needed in the house and healed my brothers and sisters so swiftly. I could see she was beginning to understand a little of what I said. What of sin, she asked. That's the end of the page. So
I think that applies 100%.
Yeah, I was thinking about like when it said the joking around and
Yeah.
you know, you guys were joking around while I was reading
How did that make you feel, Lenv?
while I was reading the letter, and I didn't really care, which I probably would have got mad in the past while I'm trying to read something, but it didn't bother me, so I just continued reading. So I don't know what Lenny V bowed out gracefully. Do you guys want to play a song? What music do you guys want to play?
I'm looking at my emails. I got 17 emails on one email, and I got 17 emails on the other.
That's incredible.
Elvis Presley songs. What's the song he does? Gospel music. He does real good.
Oh, the
gospel.
train. The train. Was that the train one? I really like the train song. All aboard.
Oh, that's not Elvis Presley.
But I remember you sang that one good. I
I
enjoyed that
sang,
one.
that was the Temptations or something like that.
That was
Yeah,
like
I
the
got
first show. I think that was the first episode of our show. We went out to that. She's waking up the baby.
Dude, he's fucking tapping his foot over and over
I
again.
keep forgetting there's somebody underneath my.
Mike, I'm sending you some videos of that guy Wilcox.
I don't know if I'm going to be playing videos, Lenny. I'll probably go out to music though if you guys want music now. We're on page 6 for next time. Yeah, page 6. This is a good one too. It's a good place to stop. Do you guys have any requests for music to go out to?
Well, Dad did request "Never Gonna Be the Same."
Okay.
Look at this
that's
video.
on-
It says Corey Good on Fallen Angels, David Wilcox on the Book of Enoch,
At my feet.
Shadow Intel, 569 on the likes, 17 replies. Don't play it.
On what?
On what?
What thing did they get remarks for?
Dude, Pop is a time traveler.
He might be. He might be.
What dimension is that guy from?
I don't even know.
Does he know?
What dimension?
What's what?
State your creed.
My
The
creed.
Brooklyn Rocket.
My creed.
Speak your creed in your dimension.
There it is. I found it.
Never
What are you
going to
looking
be
for?
the same.
What do we got? Got some new material. We got songs. We got something coming.
Elvis Presley.
We,
Why
the
Need
got
fucking
God.
songs.
song requested.
Why
Then go
Need
back.
God.
Yeah.
Very good song.
That's it. I'm muting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see you next time. Are we going to try to
See
do
you next
Sunday this
time.
week?
Try to
Try
do
to
it.
do Sunday?
Popped
Yeah,
up.
we didn't make
We had to
last
do
Sunday, but yeah.
Intervention.
No, that's right. That was that day, right? So yeah, we'll try to do Sunday. And
He
we'll see.
he refused. Refused treatment.
Like the guitar.
One day when I looked in my life, I took a step back and realized I was broken inside. One day when I looked in my life, I took a step back and realized I was broken inside. It's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be the same.
Bye.